you don't want to see naked.
Yeah, most of us. But I mean, you look and you're going, what the?
I know.
How did I get to whatever?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible. Hey there, it's Doc Thompson and Brad Staggs to tell you about a different way to shed those pounds. This is brand new tech. It's only been around for a couple of years or so. It was based on research from the University of California that said there's a molecule called OEA that's found naturally in your body. It produces it in the Mediterranean diet, that when taken in concentrated amounts, it will actually make you feel fuller and boost your metabolism.
I've lost about 10 pounds so far.
It's amazing.
It really is cool.
A company said, we can take this to market and make this great product that'll help you. It's called Riduzone, RIDUZone.com, RIDUZone.com. Brad's worked. It's worked for Brad's, worked for me, countless other people. Go to riduzone.com and try today. You're going to love it. Riduzone.com. Remember that, RIDUZone.com.
MoJo 50. The question isn't who's going to let us. The question is who's going to stop us. Adjust your mojo now. Thank you. Mothership has landed. Doc Thompson. Brad Staggs. The mighty MoJo 50.
Man, today was tough getting in. Tough, I tell you, tough. Apparently, like the entire country is under some sort of a storm watch.
It's like a bomb cyclone is what they're saying.
It's a bomb cyclone.
Bomb cyclone? I don't even know what that is.
It's a cyclone that's like a bomb. It's a weather thing.
Is it something like from what was the name of that movie?
It's huge and
flood, wet. Where everything froze. I can't remember.
Oh, Day After Tomorrow?
Day After Tomorrow.
Yes, where in the end we were all told it was our fault.
Yes.
Damn it. That was such a great movie until the end, until the last 2 minutes, and then it fell flat.
I got woken up at 4:20 this morning with a power outage up here at the studio, but it ended up not being power. It ended up just being the internet.
Just the interweb was out?
Just the interwebs were out.
Good thing we got that fixed.
all of our listeners, I think every damn one of them, were like, hey, I can't hear the station. I'm like, thank you.
Sleep
I'm
with
on
it
my
on
way.
or what? Every now and then you should take a nap. Turn the radio off, take a nap. Do something other than this.
Thank you so much for helping out. Appreciate it.
Check is in the mail. Yeah, we'll get that right off to you. I decided that there's one thing in this world that makes the entire world go round.
Money, money, money. Must be funny.
Actually, it's any excuse to play ABBA. So, because who doesn't love ABBA? Remember, if you don't like ABBA, you're gay.
I remember a joke like that.
Yeah, I do too. Here's the thing: the lawsuit has come out against CNN. Nick Sandmann's lawyer. What's his name? Lynn something. He filed the lawsuit yesterday, U.S. District Court in Kentucky. It read in part, in short, the false and defamatory gist of CNN's collective reporting conveyed to its viewers and readers that Nicholas was the face of an unruly hate mob of hundreds of white racist high school students who physically assaulted, harassed, and taunted two different minority groups engaged in peaceful demonstrations, preaching, song, and prayer.
That was CNN's response?
No. That was Lynn Wood. That was the suit that they filed in U.S. District Court in Kentucky. This is according to Lynn Wood.
That is a lot of money, dude.
$275 million. Here's how it breaks down.
It went up $25 million.
Well, $75 million for harm to Sandmann's reputation, which I certainly, and $200 million in punitive damages. Oh, they want to spank them hard and not in the good way. Lawyers for Covington Catholic School. I guess it was Linwood was the main attorney on this. They say the network's coverage of the students' encounter with Native American tribal elder, don't forget Vietnam War veteran, Nathan Phillips in January constituted a vicious attack against his client. That's exactly what it was. They got out there, and they weren't the only ones either. I mean, there were a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon of just the image. And it was easy to take that image and say that it was this kid being snarky to the Indian.
I'm going to tell you, the kid did exactly what he should have done.
Yes.
He stood there and didn't move. He stood there. I would have had a crappier smirk on my face, but he stood there smiled, and didn't say a word.
Well,
he didn't make a move.
Yeah, the people characterized it as a smirk. It was a nervous.
Of course it was.
It's
He
the
knew
laughing
every
in
camera
church
there
thing.
was on him.
Yeah, you didn't know. He's just a kid. I mean, we all think that when we're 16, we all think we know the entire world and what we're doing. We don't. Spoiler alert. We really know nothing when we're that age. And the older you get, the less you find out that you know. Contrary to its facts-first public relations ploy, CNN ignored the facts and put its anti-Trump agenda first in waging a 7-day media campaign of false, vicious attacks against Nicholas, a young boy who was guilty of little more than wearing a souvenir Make America Great Again cap while on a high school field trip to the National Mall in Washington, D.C. Boy, he'll never forget that trip, will he?
Oh, no.
Hey, Nick, remember when we went to D? No, I do. Was I there? That'd be my response. Man, he will never forget that trip. Last month, they filed a similar suit against the Washington Post, seeking $250 million. After the filing of that suit, the Post said in a statement provided to the website The Wrap, "We are reviewing a copy of the lawsuit and we plan to mount a vigorous defense." I bet Vigorous Defense is looking forward to that mounting, isn't it?
I'm sure.
It's kind of like the bull with the SUV yesterday.
Vigorous Defense right now is trying to figure out how much they can settle for.
Exactly. Let's see, clip widespread outrage and condemnation, but Sandman denied any racist intent. True. Told the Associated Press he was trying to de-escalate the situation. Yeah. This will be interesting because yesterday you asked if I thought this thing would, if they would settle. They can't. They can't offer to settle. That'd be an admission of guilt. But unless they get in front of a judge who is, or a jury, I guess this will end up being a jury trial.
Probably.
You get that kind of. They don't just put those in front of just judges. One person doesn't decide.
No, but you know they can settle out of court and it go
away
and make it go away, but also keep it under wraps.
Yeah,
right. The kid will be driving a Ferrari in a couple of months.
Oh, I hope not. I hope his parents are smarter than that. I hope that they put it in a college trust fund.
Okay.
Because unless he has parents like Felicity Huffman and some others, it's going to be,
apparently it's tough to get into college these days.
Yeah, it was a pretty simple scheme, though, they said. This happened yesterday, the big college admission scandal that broke yesterday. It's the largest of its kind ever prosecuted, according to federal prosecutors, and it features 50 defendants across 6 different states. Millions of dollars illegally funneled into funds in a handful of the country's most selective universities. Essentially, all they did was cheat and bribe.
There are coaches. There are parents. I mean, when it comes right down to it, they had people taking tests for other people. They had people claiming to be disabled so that they could be proctored by someone who's going to take the test for them. It is phenomenal.
Mark Rydell was the guy who's taking the tests for other people.
Man.
He would secretly take the tests in the student's place, or he would replace their responses with his own. And the question was, so wait a minute. Okay, so Sally's going to take the SATs, and she shows up, but it's Mark Rydell. Hi, yeah, my name is Sally. Sally's well, you don't look like Sally. That's okay. Will $200 cover it? That's what they did. They bribed the people who were giving the test so that Rydell could get. I mean, everybody in this thing was on the take.
Well, there was this one. I think there was a story about one girl who took the test, who was being proctored on the test, but
That sounds painful.
I know. The person who was proctoring her was paid to change her answers. She got 400 points higher on the SAT.
Wow, she did well. She must have studied.
What the hell? And you know what's funny? I find humorous is that William H. Macy is not involved. Felicity is, but he's not.
Well, come on.
Now,
Lori
Loughlin and her husband are both tagged in this.
Well, probably they both signed the forms, and probably William H. Macy just didn't sign the form.
He just didn't sign the form.
He wasn't home that day.
And isn't Lori Loughlin's husband the Target guy? I think Massimo.
Is that who?
I think that's what I read.
Well, it was Lori Loughlin's daughter.
So She's the video vixen, isn't she?
Yeah,
the YouTube girl.
She's this one.
But I do want the experience of like game days, partying. I don't really care about school, as you guys all know.
I don't really give a damn that my parents bribe somebody to put me in college. I just want to party and game.
I would get okay. All right, but you know what? Okay. I mean, some people, that's why they go to college.
Hey, that's not unlike half the people out
No,
there. I understand
absolutely
that.
not. I absolutely and that's why I don't understand parents who push their kids to go to college. College is overrated in a lot of cases.
Well, you know, Lori Loughlin and her husband didn't go to college, but they wanted her daughter. They wanted their daughter to go to college.
Why?
So, exactly. Why did you want them to go to college enough that you were going to break the law to get it done?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's we need to be smarter, and I say they need to be smarter about what they're pushing their kids to do. If Lori Loughlin's daughter doesn't want to go to college, she wants to go to beauty school or whatever else she wants to do. That's great. That everyone should decide what they want to do. Or maybe, you start with community college, which is free.
Or Loughlin looked across the actor-actress spectrum and saw, all these actors' kids are going to these prestigious colleges.
That's what it is.
Of course it is.
Pedigree. It's the my kid. It's the bumper sticker.
My kid goes to Yale.
Yeah.
My kid goes to Purdue. I mean, look.
My honor roll student beat up your kid. It's
Oh man, there's so many people involved in this.
And let's see here. Where
I
did
think
this one-
what was it? My wife told me. She said she read that one of the girls got into college on a lacrosse scholarship, and the college didn't even have lacrosse.
That's a little bit of a red flag. May want to think about that first. There was a college tennis coach. His name is blah blah blah. Where is it? Ernst. His last name is Ernst. What's his first name? Where did he go? Anyway, Gordon Ernst. He's up at the University of Rhode Island. He is accused of conspiracy to commit racketeering during the years he served as a tennis coach at Georgetown University. And by the way, he was also the tennis coach who served as the personal instructor for Michelle Obama and Malia.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't hear a lot about that. He was among the 46 charged by the authorities. They are saying that there is no indication that Malia, who's a sophomore at Harvard, was implicated in the scandal in any way at this point. Between 2012 and 2018, Gordon Ernst accepted more than $2.7 million in bribes in exchange. Bribes is such a harsh word.
What else
Funds.
would it be?
How about funds? He accepted more than $2.7
In
million
funding?
in funding. That makes it sound so much less harsh and illegal and stuff.
That son of a gun was bribed.
Yes, he was.
He was met on a street corner
with a little the brown paper
with a
sack,
brown paper
all
sack.
wrinkled, kind of folded on. Here you go. I'm going to hide it behind the mailbox.
Wow.
He placed at least 12 students on the Georgetown tennis team, including some who didn't play tennis competitively at all.
So have you read how they was this a sting? It was a sting operation, wasn't
I'm
it?
sure it was. I didn't.
Have you read how they did it?
No, I haven't seen those. Did you?
No, I haven't.
I thought you were going to tell me something interesting. No,
I was just curious how they. I mean, how long was it going on? The sting operation, and how did they finally decide they were going to arrest them all? Because they arrested them all on the same day.
I'm guessing it was one of two ways. Obviously, it's either somebody tipped him off,
and they embedded somebody in there to investigate,
or somebody was watching a tennis game with that dude can't play for shit. How the hell did he get in here?
What in the hell?
Yeah, and somebody you look him up, and then how did he get? And and look, they're connected, and wow, this doesn't seem right. So it's one of two ways.
How did this asshole get into college?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And there are always those people. Did you went to college? Didn't you? Or did you?
University of North Dakota for a few years.
They have universities up there?
They do. Thank you very much.
Wow. Yeah, I went for a semester. It was so damn hard. It was like homework and stuff. I went from getting straight A's in high school, going to Boys State, all that, and went to college for like half a semester. And took accounting. What else? And thought, man, they don't give you any time in the class to finish the work. You have to take it home and do it.
What?
There's something wrong with that system. I mean, good grief, they've got you there for
actually
10
had to
hours a day.
study?
Yes, and that's just, I mean, I have
That's
other things
interesting.
to do at night. I just, I did not want to spend my time.
Gaming and partying.
Yes, what's wrong with that?
Nothing?
I'm just saying. It just and when I got into accounting, I realized, oh, this is all about numbers and stuff. I don't want it. This really sucks. I thought this would be more fun.
I think that was my wife's first. That's what she was going to try to do. Her first major was accounting, and about I don't know, halfway through the first year or so, I could be speaking out of turn. But she decided, oh hell no. She went into business.
She went and found herself a rich man, is what she did. Which, by the way, that's what they suggest in the ABBA song, Money, Money, Money. So I'll find myself a rich man and I'll have to worry about it.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing. Hell, I may decide to go find myself a rich man and not worry about it. I decided to go into the much more lucrative field of radio and television. Ta-da! Gordon Ernst, when he was the head women's and men's coach at Georgetown, he resigned there in 2017. He was then hired by Rhode Island as the school's head women's tennis coach the next August. Yesterday, they placed him on administrative leave. They said that in a statement, the school said that he has not been involved in the recruitment of any current players, nor in the signing of any new recruits. Boy, I bet they scrambled. But somebody at that school was like, look them all up, find out what their scores were. He did say that in 2014, he told the New York Times that Michelle has a big backhand. I don't know. If you've seen those videos of Michelle Obama, you know what I'm talking about.
A big something.
A
Hey,
big
you know what?
backhand.
I heard on the news yesterday, Brad, this is not a victimless crime. Because there are so many kids
That want to get in.
that wanted to
Right.
get into school who probably had the grades,
Right.
but they couldn't get in because everybody else was being.
Well, that's a two-sided coin. I mean, by the same token, those kids who couldn't get in may have found that they had found an even better career path. But they
Quite
didn't.
possibly. Quite possibly.
It's possible. If convicted, this guy will have to forfeit the $2.7 million in bribes. He will also have to forfeit his Chevy Chase Country Club membership and property he owns in Falmouth. He's going to have to give up his country club membership if they convict him of this whole thing.
Oh,
That is a bad day.
damn.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how that whole thing plays out. In the meantime, over on a different front, they released Lisa Page's testimony yesterday. It had a few interesting things to say as well. They finally released the fact that the Department of Justice, remember when this whole thing started, James Comey, who was then the head of the FBI, he comes out and he says, Mrs. Clinton was extremely careless with her emails, and but no, we're not recommending any charges because no reasonable prosecutor would take this case. Well, it turns out that the Department of Justice may have suggested to him that he phrase it that way.
I guarantee you he was talking. The bullet in the back of his head potential was talking for him.
Yes, yeah. If you want to wake up tomorrow, here's what you'll say. And here's where they parse words. Federal law states that gross negligence in handling the nation's intelligence can be punished criminally with prison time or fines. There's no requirement that defendant act intentionally or recklessly. Now, remember, he came out and said she was extremely careless. He did not say she was grossly negligent. So according to federal law, I mean, if he had come out and said she was grossly negligent, then imagine the fit hitting the shan on that one when they decided not to prosecute, because that's what the law states.
Right.
Here's the thing. He sent out a classified, in a draft, apparently, of an email or a letter within the department on May 2nd in 2016 that said she was grossly negligent in handling that classified information. But when they actually sent it out on the 16th, June 10th, 16th, like a month later, grossly negligent had been changed to extremely careless. So they changed the
That's
wording.
because somebody knew the law.
Yes.
Somebody understood that if he used those particular words,
Yep.
that could come back to haunt him.
Yeah, whether or not they still would have prosecuted.
Extremely careless.
Mhm. She was extreme. She wasn't grossly negligent. She was extremely careless. He also said that although there is evidence of potential violations of the statutes regarding the handling of classified information, our judgment is that no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case. Nobody. There's nothing to see here.
I bet if
move
you
on.
threw that in the air, half the country would come a-running. Oh, yeah, I'll take that case.
He added prosecutors necessarily weigh a number of factors before bringing charges, including strength of the evidence, especially regarding intent, and the fact that I want to wake up tomorrow alive and not dead in a park after having been drugged there by apparently some other member of the mob. He also took the unusual step, they said, of holding a press conference and announcing. That was the odd thing, because that really wasn't, at the time, that was like, why is the FBI having this press conference about this evidence? That's not their job. It should be the Department of Justice coming out. The FBI gathers the information, hands it to the
Hands it
Department,
off. That's
and
right.
then they take care of it. But that wasn't the way it happened. And again, it was Loretta Lynch who at that time was the Attorney General. But yeah, she was still.
She was.
Yeah, she was still
because
there
you
as
know,
Attorney
in the
General.
airplane when she was talking to old Bill.
Oh yeah, they were just talking
it
about
was
their
like-
grandkids.
They were like, Bill, check it out. I'm going to change this wording
Yeah.
from grossly negligent
To
to extremely
extremely
careless.
She was just
Are you okay with
sloppy.
that? Here's why you should be okay with that.
Right, yeah. This whole, and it's all about money. If you have money, you can get anything done. Anything at all.
Evidently.
That's what we need.
We need money.
Damn it, all this time. Why didn't we just go get some money? If we had money, we could do all of these things. We wouldn't have any problems. There's always the argument, no, when you get a bunch of money, it comes with its own new set of problems.
It does,
I'll
actually.
tackle those.
Yeah.
I'll take those on.
But see, you got to go into it that's like lottery winners.
Mm-hmm.
You know, isn't it like 75% of the lottery winners in the country all are broke in about 2 years?
That's because they're stupid.
They're stupid.
Those are the stupid people.
But if you go into
I'm not
it
gonna be the stupid
knowing-
person.
Exactly. That's why it took 6 months for that person who won the $800
million, yeah.
million to come out.
Uh-huh.
They were getting their affairs in order.
Yes.
I would have to do that too.
Yeah, they probably already moved out of their house. They're in the
Aw.
Bahamas somewhere.
Not only that, you know what? They're going to have family and friends that they've never met ever.
No, they're not, because
Hey,
they're
check it.
gone.
Hey, I really wanted to start a business. Can you help a brother out?
Remember me? We were tight. We were like this.
Every school friend, every family member, third cousins,
Hey,
fourth cousins.
I've been thinking about you. I just saw your name in the news. Hey, what's going on? Did you win the lottery? Oh, I haven't talked to you in so long. How's it going? Can I borrow $100 million? That's why you have to disappear. It's a shame, but you really do. But I'm willing to take on the problems of having too much money. And speaking of money, if you're paying too much for your cell service right now, boy, see how I made that? Phew. PatriotMobile.com/doc. That's where you want to go. And it's not just about the money you're paying every month for your cell phone bill, because, you may be totally happy with your service right now. You may be happy with the phone you have. You may be happy with it all. But here's the thing. If you decide and you want to investigate this a little bit, go online and find out what your cell phone company gives money to every month. And if that company is giving money to organizations that you perhaps wouldn't support. I mean, think about this. If you're giving your big cell phone company $1 and they're turning around and they're handing 50 cents or a quarter, whatever it is, to some left-wing organization that you're like, what are you giving money to them for? Here's the thing. You could actually switch services, have just as good a service, have just as good a phone, or your own phone right now, and the money wouldn't be going to fund those institutions that you do not support. That's what PatriotMobile.com is all about. They give money to conservatarian causes, Camp Hope, and Empower Texans, the Susan B. Anthony list. They share your I mean, that's what it's all about. It's about finding people who share your values and share your beliefs, and kind of joining forces with them.
Yeah, we've been working with the CEO Maury for a long time,
Yep.
and he's a really, really good guy.
He is.
He's a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
He cares about the customers. And, if you ask him about Patriot Mobile, he's going to tell you the story. And the story is actually really good. They formed Patriot Mobile.
Kurt Russell dies in the end.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it.
They formed Patriot Mobile after, watching the Democratic side of the country do the similar thing, and it actually changed the vote in the country.
What was the name of it? And then if you go back a few years, and I Googled this not too long ago, there was Sprint. It was a partnership between Sprint, I think, and Planned Parenthood. I mean, they were right there out in the open with it. They had a big website to it,
right?
The whole thing. So it's about your tribe. It's about partnering with people that support the same thing that you do. So start at patriotmobile.com/doc and see if you can't find a cell phone plan that fits you. Start at $20. Come on, same as downtown. This is your Daily Mojo.
Happily promoting the 4 F's: freedom, faith, free markets, and fun. MoJo 50.
I'm Mike Opelka from PureOpelka.com. Here's your 2-minute drill. Tuesday's amazing story about the rich and famous people who paid all kinds of money so their kids could get into prestigious schools made me think, if there only were someone who could stand up, if there only were an elected member of government who would go after those people, who would take on those powerful, entitled people and really call them out. Who could do that?
This is just stunning. I mean, the notion that people thought they could keep cheating like this and evidently built this huge cheating network in order for the children of the rich and the powerful to make it into fancy schools. To me, it's just one more example of how the rich and powerful know how to take care of their own and everybody else just gets left behind. I think that's wrong.
Oh, so that's wrong. You have a problem with people gaming the system to get either themselves or their kids into a prestigious school. It's kind of like somebody making up a Native American heritage in order to get into a school or a law school or to get into a private society and get their law card. Or is it more like somebody who buys foreclosed homes and then flips them for a huge profit, taking advantage of people who lost their homes? What is it, Senator? What is it? Testudo, my friends. Testudo.
Mike Opelka's 2-minute drill is powered by MoJoWildRice.com. Their wild rice is a superfood, gluten, sodium, fat, and cholesterol-free, yet high in fiber, protein, zinc, phosphorus, and trace minerals. But you're going to love it because it's delicious. MoJoWildRice.com. MoJoWildRice.com.
The Daily Mojo.
Yeah, Pickled Squirrel says Hillary was negligent, careless, etc. with the emails. Grossly is a given. And more of an adjective. Bob blah blah. See, now I always pause. I'm so used to pausing.
Love the blah, blah, blah.
That I hear. And every time, even though I thought it was the dumbest damn line from What About Bob? New Hampshire. Every time I say New Hampshire now,
you have to pause.
I pause.
And it was because he was so quick with the response, too, because he would get out the love the blah, blah, blah before you would finish saying the name.
Oh, there were times, though, he was engrossed in something over here, and I'd say it. Blah,
hello,
blah, blah.
Hello.
Oh, love the blah, blah, blah. Yeah, thanks for listening, Doc. Appreciate that. So, blah, blah, blah. From here on out, all Democrat soundbites should be accompanied with a sitcom-style laugh track, perhaps from prison inmates. Tesla's coil jack hole says the Brandon Morse still waiting on hearing the response from Elizabeth Warren on the cheating to get into college scandal. And I love the way Michael Pelka, stunt brain, just called that out. I wonder if, in fact, we will hear from Elizabeth Warren. I mean, she's obviously upset about it, but I wonder what kind of response you'll have when people start comparing the two. To be Deborah Brown. Deborah Brown in Richmond, Virginia. She had a feeling. You ever had one of those where and I do this all the time. If I look at the clock and it's like 11:11, I always think, should go to Vegas. That's 4 aces. Or you wake up in the middle of the night and you look at your clock and it's like 2:22. Trip threes. I was thinking poker hands for some reason. Deborah Brown had a feeling. She kept seeing the numbers 1 and 0 and 3-1 maybe on the clock. She said she saw it a couple times during the day, so she went to the store and she bought some lottery tickets, and she 1, 0, 3, 1. I guess it was the pick 4 numbers. Then she decided she was going to buy. I think she bought 10 of them. She decided she's going to buy 10 more. Now she bought 30 in total. So yesterday, guess what? The lottery there in Virginia, was it Mega Million? It was pick 4. I guess that's just a Virginia lottery. The numbers were 1, 0, 3, and 1, and she had 30 tickets, each worth $5,000. She made $150,000 yesterday. Good for her.
That's not a bad day.
Deborah Brown, nice work. By the way, Deborah, I think you and I went to school together. I remember. I'm pretty sure we sat next to each other.
And I'm pretty sure I bought your lunch every day.
Oh, man, we were like besties. I'm pretty sure that happened. I really am. So, Deborah, hey, call me. Speaking of calls, we have our phone call. Jeremy Leahy is on the phone right now, ladies and gentlemen, with Standing Ground, which is heard each and every Saturday night here on MoJo 50 at 10 p.m. Jeremy, how are you, sir? Oh, I have to. Sorry, I have to.
Do you want me to answer it for you?
Well, you said that. Sorry about that, Jeremy. I forgot I had to push the button that says hello. So,
Yeah, you guys are really good. No,
too damn much stuff to do over here. Mm-hmm.
I was listening to this whole this entrance scandal thing going on. I was watching on the news this morning. And I do have to confess, my mother got busted when I was a kid. She slipped a nun a $5 bill to get me into Montessori.
You'll do anything for your kids.
Start somewhere.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Everybody has some little favor they got called in to get where they are. So,
well, it's funny coming from Hollywood that calls Donald Trump a liar, cheat, and a steal. I mean, there's the pot calling the kettle black.
I know. It's the hypocrisy that really gets me.
It is.
And then they act holier than thou when things like this happen. I am looking so forward to the excuses that they give. Or maybe they'll come in and say, "Hey, no, I did it, and I'm sorry," but I doubt that it's going to happen that way. We'll see.
And the video of the daughter there, she sounds like Alexander Cortez, like I want to go to college and poop in the woods,
Here's the thing: she's honest. At least she's not saying, "Look, I want to go be a lawyer. I want to go." She's like, I want to go to party." And if chances are she didn't know
that was.
Go ahead.
You see, that was my mistake. You see, when I first went to college, believe it or not, I went to flight school to learn how to fly, and I entertained myself too much. I got by. I ended up dropping out after crashing a few airplanes, and I realized, well, maybe I belong. I didn't crash any airplanes, but I belong in radio. But here we are.
I wouldn't want to be cheating on airline pilot tests. Those are one I think I would study for.
Yeah, and I'm not getting on that 737 either, for crying out loud. My God, talk about over automation. So, well, anyway, so. Listen, first of all, thanks for carrying my show.
Absolutely.
I don't know if anybody's listening, but I enjoy doing it anyway.
That's okay. I don't know if anybody's listening to the Daily Mojo either, but that's all right. You know what? We do it because we love the business, Jeremy. We're not doing this for money. We're not doing this for fame. We are doing it because we love radio.
It's called a labor of love. And I got to tell you, I told this story shortly after, and belated condolences on Doc. It was a horrible thing, but I was in the radio business for about, maybe 12 years. I started in morning radio, doing crank calls and that kind of thing. And I really loved it. I enjoyed it.
It's fun.
And around 2008, with the economic collapse with all the banks and everything like that, they said, we're sorry, you got to go. And I remember waking up the next morning and actually having this sigh of relief because it was at the time where I was signing all this paperwork. Don't say this. Don't say that. Don't allude to this on the air. Now I was a producer and I was on air and whatnot, but I was really getting sick of pushing buttons. So
By the way, you don't have to do that anymore in radio, apparently. You just sit here and everything happens by itself, except for answering the phone.
It's great. It's great. So anyway, what happened was I went into this sort of quasi-convalescence and didn't really know what I was going to do. I took work where I could get it, and I promised myself I would never go back into radio. And what happened was So I said, you know what? I went back to school and I said, I'm going to get that damn degree that I never got. And I got a BA in poli-sci and did it in about 2 years.
Good for you.
And then what I did was, it's kind of a fun thing for my girlfriend at the time said to me, she goes, you're shooting your mouth off all the time about all your opinions and everything. She goes, why don't you start recording them? I said, what do you mean? She goes, just start recording them. So I plugged a microphone into my iPhone. And I started sending out to friends emails, little 20-minute like vignettes on rants on sort of like little topics about things, whatever.
Right.
And so then I sent it to my good friend Scott McKay in Chicago, who's a brilliant imaging director. He does all my intros and outros and all that kind of stuff. And he said, I'll put together a reel for you. And I said, okay. And then I sent it out to our old dear friend Primo, God rest his soul. And he gave me a 1 hour show, 1 hour slot on that other network. And that's really where it all started. And here I am. But I got to tell you, it was like the planets aligned, because I do all this thing myself. And it's great because, Ron, I guess, is my boss or whoever there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The great thing is,
I hate to hear that.
Wait, is Ron my boss? Well, actually, my boss. Doc is my boss. Doc is still my boss. Okay.
You know what? You can get away with murder with Doc now. He never says a damn thing about anything.
Well, he does posthumously. We just don't hear it. But but I tell you, so the great thing about this, and it was when I was, like I said, when I was getting out of, I did talk radio too for a while, and I was producing and worked with a lot of the greats, they call them now, that are on cable TV, whatnot. But what's great is, and I'm not saying this to kiss up. Well, actually, maybe I am. I've never gotten a call from Ron or anyone at the network and said, Jeremy, you got to be careful there, buddy. And you went a little too far there. And like, I last week was talking about Trump's visit to Hanoi. Okay. And I played in the background a little Oriental music. Okay. If I did that at CBS, I'd be in my program director's office.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I would be like, they'd be like, knock it off.
And welcome to non-FCC controlled radio, Jeremy. That's
for now.
Hey, listen, point of order, Your Honor. Point of order. I guarantee you they're going to come after us. I mean, eventually they're going to try and come after us.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now.
As everything shifts over, they're going to start paying attention.
Oh yeah, I mean, eventually they will, and we will fight them with hammer, tooth, and nail. I mean, I'm talking, a major revolution if they come after internet radio. So,
as long as it doesn't require money, because we don't have any of that. But if it's just hammer, tooths, and nails, we're loaded up with them.
Yeah, where is my duck and check? By the way, I haven't seen it.
It's in the mail.
Don't worry about it.
It's in the mail.
It's one of the three big lies of life. Yes. I'm sure it is.
So now, Jeremy, after you recorded on your iPhone, you became known as the iPad podcaster or such.
Yeah, well,
right?
Listen, I got to tell you, because Ron's rolling his eyes right now because I've been an awful pain in the ass. But I can tell you,
wow, you're right. He is.
Whatever. No,
I love you, brother.
Radio Inc. magazine did an interview with me, and they called me the iPad broadcaster because I did the entire show from my iPad. I loaded all my actualities, and I spoke right into the condenser mic, whatever. But now, a major announcement, and I sent Ron a photo of my soon-to-be constructed studio here at home.
Boy, I'm glad you said.
He's actually got a computer.
I'm glad you said
now.
studio.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my microphone arrives today.
Where the hell is the bell?
Yeah.
I needed the bell.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been bell deficient this morning. I apologize. Continue on.
So we may this week will probably be my last iPad broadcast. So now I will be actually at a decent home studio. So
wow.
So yeah, kind of sad to say goodbye to it, but you know what? You want good quality.
Yeah, but sometimes you got to dance with the one that brung you. So
you know what the toughest thing for me doing this show is I'm one of 4 children, the third board, the screwed up one.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the way it is. And the others are all liberal. I'm the only conservative.
I have that issue
they
too
love
in my
me.
family. It's a very
They love
strange
me,
family
right?
dynamic. Or do they?
It is.
Or
It's
do
okay.
they?
It's okay. Yeah. Well, no. I mean, look. I think the author, the writer James Baldwin said, you can't choose your family members. You have to accept them for who they are.
True.
So they accept that I'm conservative, and they support me. They just don't. I think they probably turn me on and then shut me off.
They just think you're
after my
crazy.
monologue.
That's what I had to do with my sister.
You're right. Well, I am crazy, and that's fine. And we're all in media. Both my sisters worked in television. They worked at they worked in network news and all that. So we're all kind of a media family. So this thing kind of just. But I got to tell you, like I said, I never thought I'd be doing this again. And the fact that getting laid off from CBS, like I said, the planets aligned when internet radio is now the place to go. I turned on my old morning show that I used to be on the other day, and I got to tell you, God love them, okay? They've been doing the same shit for 30 years, and it's the news, the sports check. I mean, I did crank calls. I did impersonations. That's how I got started.
Traffic and weather coming up together on the 7s. And then, of course, next hour we'll have the ski report coming up. We do that on the 3s. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't forget Wednesday, Battle of the Sexes.
Exactly, yep.
And the thing is, at the time, I loved it. Right now, that would give me an aneurysm. I couldn't do it. So this network here at MoJo, and it's given me the opportunity to go out and just do my own thing.
Yeah, we're a little different.
And what do you mean? Well, I think. Well, no, I think MoJo is very unique in many ways. But like that beautiful email that Doc sent out. I
never read that.
It's evident. It's evident. Thank you, Brad.
Bullshit. I know you read it.
I swear to you, I didn't read it. I don't check email. It pisses everybody off.
We didn't put a TDLR at the end of it.
Look, I
TLDR. Sorry, TLDR. Too long, didn't read.
You're right. If his wife is listening right now, when I read that thing, I thought I was proofreading the Magna Carta. I mean, it was brilliant. It was a brilliant email, and how he laid everything out. But the one part I like, it says, with the abeyance of just these couple of things, say whatever you want.
Right.
I mean, that was. Yeah. And look, I don't get crude. I don't tend to, but every so often I might drop an S-bomb or something like that. But whatever. But,
ironically, though, it's basically the two. It's the F word and it's GD, and those are the two things that he. Really,
yeah, you stay away from that stuff.
But the funny thing was the morning that we were in here drinking tequila, and he started talking about. Not Sam Kinison, but Gallagher up on stage.
Oh, dude, he dropped the F-bomb.
The watermelon?
He dropped the F-bomb in the middle of that. I looked over at him, and he just kept right on going. After we're done, I said, "Did you know?" He said, "Yeah, I just blew right past it. Shut up." I said, "Okay." Just to make sure you. But yeah, those are the only two real restrictions we have, and it's just from there. Where do you go? I mean, if you're crude, it's language is language. Language doesn't offend me, but if there's nowhere to go past that. So unless you use that as an accentuation or an exclamation point, it's useless past that.
Well, that's what I just said in this interview. I said ducking. You know what I mean when I said ducking, right? I mean, you said what they say in Spinal Tap. It's just this fine line between clever and stupid.
Yes, yes. And this one goes to
like
11.
I said to Ron on the business call we had. I said, I hope we're not all cursed by, what happened to Doc. Like, we're going to end up like the Spinal Tap drummers, like we're like these crazy. Like,
no.
You guys hear about Leahy? He spontaneously exploded while recording his
show. Just stay away from the railroad tracks and you should be okay. That's the there's something there was something that I saw written about you that I thought was interesting that you say the Constitution never intended to guarantee our rights. It only intended to protect our rights.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that's pretty deep.
Okay, well, let me explain to you what I meant. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm a reasonable originalist. It means I'm an originalist that's reasonable. And to just give you an example of that is that the Fourth Amendment says the right of the people to be secure in their persons, places, articles, and effects shall not be violated. and no warrants shall be issued, but based on probable cause under oath or affirmation, the places to be searched and the things and or persons to be seized. I know it by heart. I'm a geek. I admit it. However, if you give a hypo here for a second, a police officer or any agent of the state is driving down the street, and they see somebody at knife point being dragged into a house. Okay, you got probable cause. Okay?
Yeah.
But the officer does not have time to get a warrant. I don't think that James Madison ever intended that someone in a situation like that you need to go get a warrant to break into the house. No, you don't. You bust the door down, you point the gun at the SOB and say, drop the knife or you're going to be spaghetti sauce. That's where
that sounds just like a real cop. I like that.
Right.
Drop the knife or you're going to be spaghetti sauce, Pally.
And you'll say, and I've got my gun from Tar River Arms, man, so watch out.
Exactly.
But when going back to what you said is that the word guarantee, Supreme Court justices do this all the time, and they'll say guaranteed in the Constitution. If you say, for instance, tonight, someone sticks a camera in your window and they photograph you and they put it on the internet, well, obviously there's a Fourth Amendment violation. And you go to court and you go into tort litigation, you sue the newspaper, whatever, and you win. It doesn't change the fact that it happened. You can't take it back. So all I mean when I say this is that the Constitution doesn't guarantee us anything. When you go to court, it will be protected in the end, but you can't take back where you have been wronged. Is what I meant by that.
Right? Yeah, you can't get it back. Sure.
That's just generally how the system works. I mean, but no, I'm not a textualist. I tend to be I'm pretty hard line on a lot of stuff. Have you guys heard about this case that we had up here with the texting suicide?
The one where the girl was convicted of was it her boyfriend
getting
on the
her
other
boyfriend
end?
to kill himself?
Yeah,
that one. Yes.
Okay. Well, first, okay, she's a little witch. Okay. But when I went on the air, I said, I was quoting a BU professor who said, the law does not require us to be good people.
Correct.
Which she's not. Okay.
Well, to an extent, it doesn't require us to be nice people. We have to be kind of good people to stay out of trouble. But yeah, it doesn't require us to be nice.
Well, I mean, good people do bad things, and bad people do bad things that aren't illegal. I took the position, and I maintain it, that she should have never been prosecuted and she should not be in prison because they were words.
That's true.
It's a lot of people, and then I had one relative say to me, well, what she did was wrong. I said, it was wrong, but it wasn't illegal. Burning an American flag is wrong, but it's not against the law.
Right.
So I don't let her be condemned in society because it let her out of prison and she can't walk into a supermarket, and she'll face the consequences.
Right.
But to me, this is a case I really do think is going to end up in front of the Supreme Court, because although you have a First Amendment right to speak, you don't have a First Amendment right to be heard, and he could have just blocked the call.
Absolutely true.
He didn't have to read them. And obviously, those texts led to his death. I don't want to be down in here. I'm just talking about that's the constitutionalist in me, is that it's the first case, and she wasn't even at the scene, which is bizarre.
Right.
Involuntary manslaughter. She wasn't even there.
Yeah, if you can't, you'd have to accept every other defense that somebody convinced you to rob the store, or somebody convinced you to speed. It takes the onus off of you and puts it on somebody else.
Right, you heard about these guys who they'll see like a cop hiding out in a speed trap, and they'll hold up a sign, and the sign says, "Slow down, speed trap ahead." And then they get ticketed or they're charged with obstructing justice. Well, my response to that is, no, you're being a good citizen because you're encouraging people to come into compliance with the law and slow down and be careful.
Sure, but you're also interfering with revenue enhancement, and that
is a
pisses them
key.
off.
That is a key item. You're right.
Yeah, I go back to the theme of this first hour, which is money, 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 and when you start interrupting their monetary flow into City Hall, and that's when you done cross the line.
That's right, because they look at. I had actually I stole the line from a movie. I got pulled over on the town next to me about a year ago. The cop comes up to the window, and he said to me, "I've been waiting for an a-hole like you all morning to come by." And I looked at him. I said, I got her as fast as I could.
Wow.
And he said, "Get out of here."
Here's the funny thing: if you watch those, and I go down this rabbit hole on YouTube a lot, the refusal to stop and the refusal at DUI checkpoint videos. Those are fun to watch.
Cop Buster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
you're
are
not
a lot of
required
fun.
to.
Well,
You're not required to pull in.
It's a fuzzy line because they're supposed to, from what I understand, have signage prior to the DUI checkpoint that gives you an opportunity to avoid it. But in a lot of cases, they will put it after the last turn, so that if you want to avoid it, you have to stop and turn around.
See, I got busted because I pulled into one of those areas a couple of years ago, and I looked at the cop and I said, I wish to assert my Fifth Amendment right in the sense of any question. No. There's nothing funny about drinking and driving. Don't do it. It's dumb. It's stupid. It's not worth it.
Yeah, but that's a funny joke.
It is. It is. But I got to tell you right now, if you're going to get shit faced, stay home and do it. Don't get behind the wheel. It's just dumb. So.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
But anyway, listen. I'm so addicted now that I got my new system set up. And Ron, I'll send you a photo of my beautiful new microphone that arrives today.
Is that a euphemism, or if you guys want to have a little alone time together, I'm perfectly willing.
No, send it to me, brother. I'd love to see it.
Right.
And
hey, Ron's got it. Ron, do you have a man crush? Be honest. You saw my headshot. You got a man crush.
You know I do, brother. You know I do.
What's that? Oh.
I'll just keep the bell going.
That's our innuendo bell, Jeremy.
Yeah. You should listen. You should listen to the program every now and then. The bells are the most exciting part. Plus, we have the horn.
That's right.
So it's tomorrow. It's Saturday nights at 10 o'clock. It is Jeremy Leahy, and the name of the show is
Standing Ground Saturday. And I understanding it reads on it rears on Sunday nights, but I'm usually passed out at 10 o'clock, so I don't listen to my own show. But it goes. Hey, listen, as they say in the business, any chance of me getting an air check of this interview for my files, Ron? Could you email that to me?
Absolutely, for $15.95, and you can send that through PayPal.
You bet, brother.
I'm going to put
I'll send it to you.
DA on your ass.
Yep, I'll send it to you after the show.
All right.
It's been a pleasure. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeremy. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks. All right, so it's did I even say Sunday? It's Saturday nights, right?
It's Saturday nights at 10 p.m., but I replay it. I re-air it on Sunday nights at the same time.
Even if it sucks?
Even if it sucks.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of our show hosts, as everyone well knows, get replayed if I have open time on the network. Now, Jeremy's, his primary slot there is 10 p.m. on Saturday nights. So eventually the Sunday night one will go away, and several of our other replays will go away. We've got about 8 new shows that are coming up in the next few weeks.
And 6 of them are really, really good. Really good.
We won't tell you who the other 2 are.
Nope. I mean, you'll have to guess which ones the other 2 are to begin with.
But, you know, Jeremy has done a show for me for about 2.5 years now. And he always sends his shows. They're always on time, and they're always really good. So listen to Jeremy, Standing Ground, Saturday night at 10 p.m.
So Jeremy what you're saying is Jeremy follows the don't piss off Ron rule.
Yes.
Very good. See, that's
if there are any other show hosts that are listening right now, or potential show hosts,
just don't piss off Ron. See, here's the secret.
Actually, I make it my goal in this industry to be the person that they can actually call and talk to and get some good advice. And
people take advice from you?
They absolutely do. I'm a good advice giver. Look, it might not be correct.
How much does it cost?
It's free most of the time.
So you get what you pay for.
Oh, my God.
Hey, if you were alone somewhere and you only had one food to eat, what would it be?
MoJo Wild Rice.
You know it. You knew that. You cheated. It's a food.
I just happen to know what's coming up.
Well, it's if it was the only food you had to eat, it would be it's one you'd be able to survive on. I never really thought about that, but it's almost a complete protein in and by itself. I mean, could you survive on chocolate bars? I don't know. You'd probably eventually go into a diabetic coma.
Maybe, yeah.
But with something like
it would get you a few more days.
Yeah, it would, probably. But not like wild rice. If it was the only thing you had to eat, you'd be able to survive on it. And that's what the early Indians here in this country, a lot of them survived on. Others,
Chef Patrick has made the. Have you had the waffles that he made?
I've had Chef Patrick's waffles. Let me tell you,
he makes them out of with the MoJo Wild Rice, and he
incredible.
He brings them to you with an egg on the top,
and naked too. Naked is the best part. They're really the ones he had with the chicken in the middle.
Yeah.
How did he get it in there? Is what I want. But it was,
He
man,
mixed
that
it
was
up.
so good.
They were fantastic. Now, if I tried to make them, they probably wouldn't turn out as good as Chef Patrick makes them. But
Wow. He's good at least cooking. Here's the Lori and Jay from MoJo Wild Rice will be here. They're coming in tomorrow, aren't they?
I don't know. I thought it was first part of next week. You may be right though.
Maybe I'm wrong. I thought I heard Tom say they were coming in tomorrow. If they're not tomorrow, they'll be here.
But they'll be
next
here.
week.
They'll be on the air with us.
And when they come to town, the things that they make with with MoJo Wild Rice are absolutely incredible. I mean, they've got what. And by the way, when you get if you buy the waffle sampler packet, MoJo Wild Rice, and use the promo code, it is still Spring10. Yes, Spring10 at MoJo at MoJoWildRice.com. You'll get 10% off everything on the entire website. It's MoJo Wild Rice. Spring10 is the. I need to put my glasses on today. This is one of those days where my eyes.
I know for a
don't
fact
focus.
that
Some
you
days I
have
can
glasses
see.
in there. There are like
I know
12
there's
pair of
yes.
readers.
Well, I found half of them over in Doc's desk after he went on vacation, so I found the rest of them. But you have those days where you can't see, and it's not every day. It's just like some days. Maybe it.
We have
stop getting
a
stupid
picture
drunk
of
at
Doc right before he left to go on that run. Was he wearing your readers
Yes,
that day?
those are my glasses. By the way, the earbuds he's holding in his hand in that picture, we have a piece of those sitting over here on the shelf, too. MoJoWildRice.com. Use the promo code SPRING10 and enjoy some of the fabulous food from the Northwoods of Minnesota. It really, really is good. So show them some love up there at MoJoWildRice.com. Over on the Twitter, Cart Punching Kool-Aid. Where could Doc Thompson be? Why did he leave Brad here all alone? No shit. That's what I ask every day. What he left, it's like Negan in The Walking Dead when he says, "You know what you don't have when you don't have a number two man? A whole lot of work." I was fine being the guy in number two. Sorry. Now I just have a whole lot of work sitting over here. But we'll continue on with Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. Mojo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Red flags have been raised by at least two pilots over potential issues with the Boeing 737 MAX 8 jetliner. Correspondent Mike Rossius says the concerns are included in a NASA database.
In one report, the co-pilot called out descending, followed by an audio cockpit warning, "Don't sink, don't sink." The captain disconnected the autopilot and the jet resumed climbing. In the other report, the co-pilot said the nose pitched downward and the MAX 8 jet began descending at 1,200 to 1,500 feet per minute just seconds after engaging the autopilot. As with the other flight, the plane began to climb after the captain disconnected the autopilot.
There have been two deadly crashes of MAX 8 planes in the past 6 months. A moratorium on executions being put in place by California Governor Gavin Newsom. House Democrats expected to vote today to require public release of the Mueller report.
As speculation swirls that Mueller is close to finishing his 22-month investigation, House Democrats are expected to call for the public release of any parts of the report that aren't specifically prohibited by law. They'll also urge that the entire report be sent to Congress. This is, of course, a non-binding resolution. Attorney General William Barr has hinted he may only send a summary to Congress.
Capitol Hill correspondent Wally Hines. 50 people charged in an alleged plot to cheat the admissions process at 8 of America's leading universities. Wealthy parents accused of paying bribes to get their kids into those schools. Stanford student Larissa Bursch telling KGO-TV it's far from a victimless crime.
I think there absolutely are victims. I think it's any student who deserved to get in, who worked really hard.
Prosecutors allege parents spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, some as much as $6.5 million, to guarantee their children's admission. On Wall Street, Dow futures up 32 points, NASDAQ futures 29 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-452-1075. 800-452-1075. That's 800-452-1075.
You know what makes you feel really good about yourself? Doing something good for somebody else. And if you'd like to do that today, go to jdrf.org. Join them in the fight against type 1 diabetes. jdrf.org. It's something good you can do for the world. jdrf.org.
Ladies, some of you sickos willingly accept that with the big doe eyes that you don't even need from a Snapchat filter and just look up at R. Kelly and say, give me your best.
The Ranciviso. United 7. MoJo 50.
Hey guys, Matt Locke, the Conservative Cartel. I'd like to take a minute and tell you about a new weight loss product that's instantly becoming part of the MoJo 50 family. It was launched by a Dallas area company who had taken the good stuff in olive oil and created a patented product that helps people control their appetite and lose weight. It's also a big help to keep the weight off. A 6-year study of former contestants from The Biggest Loser showed that when you lose weight, your body actually thinks something bad has happened, and it fights back by slowing your metabolism and boosting your appetite. One Ridgezone client, Sarah, recently lost over 100 pounds. While she looks amazing, she has been struggling every day with cravings. Now that she's taking Ridgezone, she says it's so much easier to control her appetite and she's not thinking about food all day. Ridgezone contains a patented ingredient that has been shown to boost metabolism and reduce appetite while helping you burn fat. For a short time, we have a 30% off deal for our show. Just go to ridgezone.com, riduzone.com, and enter the code MATT, M-A-T-T. That's Ridgezone, riduzone.com.
If we weren't so bad.
To puppy rape.
I like to cuss. Do I want to keep my penis?
Cat wants some black titties.
We wouldn't be so good. MoJo 50.
The mothership has landed.
All right, keep those comments, as long as they're nice ones, coming in through the Twitter and the Facebook and over in the MeWe chat room. I think they finally got it together in MeWe, by the way.
Hey, I have something we need to talk about.
Uh-oh.
Last time we had a missing chair.
Oh, no shit.
When somebody was supposed to be here, we made an announcement.
That's true, but Brandon is simply, well, we fired him. Let's just be honest. We fired him. He sucked yesterday and the day before, and we thought, no, there's no way. No, actually, it's just the weather.
The weather here is just
frightful
bad right now.
And the fire is so delightful. It's time to go. Let it snow. Let it snow. It's raining cats and dogs here. It's real. I mean, apparently there's what'd you call it? A bomb cyclone. So anyway, it's affecting every part of the country, and Brandon's probably listening, sweating in his car right now. So he will be here momentarily. However, I do have enough, and I've put together enough, and I think that we can actually do headlines for you without Brandon Morse. So let's go ahead and try to do headlines.
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's Brad Staggs.
Indeed, your headlines are brought to you by APR Coffee. APR Coffee, the best coffee in the entire universe, and the universe of universes, if they ever discover any more. If you're not drinking APR coffee, you're stupid. One of these headlines in today's stories is not real, by the way. First off, feds say a man wed a stranger in the country here just to stay in the United States. Raleigh, North Carolina prosecutors say a couple was panhandling along a North Carolina road when a foreigner pulled over with a proposal for the woman. Marry him so he could stay in the country. They'd received $12,000 along with payments for the house and the car. Citing court records, the News and Observer reports that 31-year-old Melissa Ann Goodshall accepted the offer from 44-year-old Levon Lomatadzmziz and Lazen lady. He's a native, actually, of the country of Georgia. Not the state of Georgia, the country of Georgia.
Isn't that over like near Russia? Yeah.
I think so. Or it's really, really close to Alabama. One of the two. Her boyfriend, 46-year-old Robert Kennerly, served as a witness during the marriage ceremony. I'll bet that was awkward. I wonder if he stuck around for the honeymoon. The U.S. District Attorney's Office says that all three are now indicted on charges involving marriage fraud. News reports didn't include comments in their defense. So that should be an interesting threesome. In Berlin, a woman cried murder over a car blocking her garage. German police officers called to investigate a murder arrived to find that the woman who had reported it just wanted somebody to remove a car blocking the front door of her garage. The Woman who wasn't named rang emergency dispatchers early Thursday and claimed that her husband had been killed.
What?
Yeah. Sending police and first responders rushing to the scene in the Bavarian town of Berchtesgaden, which is very close to Häagen-Dazs. German news agency The PI quoted a spokesman for Southern Upper Bavaria Police, Stefan Sontag, saying the woman thought if she calls in a murder, the police get there faster. You see, he's German, so that's how he speaks. The woman who was visibly drunk.
Oh, that explains it.
You mean there was alcohol involved? Attempted to get into her car before officers took away her keys. She is going to get a large bill and a criminal investigation.
Oh, I bet.
For misusing
my husband's
the
been
number.
killed. Oh, by the way, can you move my car out of the way?
Yes, exactly. Now remember, one of these is not real. And that may be the one that's not real. In Joplin, Missouri, after dedicating an immense portion of his spare time to battling the Axis forces in Europe, avid Battlefield 5 player Jacob Dunford, 36 years old. He has, as of 2:45 yesterday morning, spent more of his life fighting Nazis than his grandfather Martin did in World War II. Several reports indicated that Dunford, whose service record stretches back to Battlefield 2 and includes combat tours in Wolfenstein and Call of Duty, he's now officially fought the Second World War longer than the U.S. Army Air Corps Staff Sergeant Martin Dunford, a transport pilot who served in the 101st Airborne Division from 42 to 45. He reached the milestone while completing the final level of the Battlefield V campaign mode. Dunford also has far more confirmed Nazi kills and has participated in several more significant battles than his grandfather. So good for him. Everybody needs to have a goal in life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Poppy farmers in the state of Madhya Pradesh in India have reportedly run into some trouble while cultivating the season's crops. You see, they found that the opium-addicted parrots are terrorizing these farmers. In addition to inconsistent rainfall putting a damper on things, flocks of persistent parrots presumed to be addicted to opium are rampaging through the poppy farm, sometimes making 40 visits a day to get their fix.
Wow.
One poppy flower gives around 20 to 25 grams of opium. Yes, it does. It depends on how you process it, actually. But a large group of parrots feed on these plants over 30 to 40 times a day. One poppy cultivator in the Neemuch district of central India told Indian News that this affects the procedure. Hold on, he's Indian. This affects the procedure. This affects the produce. The opium-addicted parrots are wreaking havoc. That's about right, isn't it?
Pretty close.
Pretty close. I mean, that's when I get the robocalls, that's usually what they sound like. So, or when I call Dell customer service.
So the parrots are sniffing poppies.
Oh, they're not sniffing. Apparently, they're eating
them.
They're eating the poppies,
and then going and relaxing for a while, and then coming back later.
And they're apparently terrorizing the farmers, trying to get in there and pick the poppies. You poppy picker. Why in the hell do they use so many consonants in the names of their cities in Slovenia? Ljubljana? In Ljubljana.
Why you pick news stories that you can't?
That's the only place that people do stupid things. Apparently.
Well, there's Florida.
Well, that's true. But you can't do Florida every damn day. Or
there's enough news stories.
I know,
Florida.
but then I just hate picking on Florida. When you can pick on Slovenia, why not, every now and then take it international?
Okay.
Authorities say a Slovenian woman who deliberately cut off her hand with a circular saw to collect insurance money faces up to 8 years in jail.
Oh, for the love of God.
Give me a hand. Just kidding.
Oh, my Lord.
Police say the 21-year-old woman, helped by her relatives, had hoped to claim nearly 400,000 euros in insurance payments. How much is that in dollars? 400,000 euros to dollars. Hang on, because, I mean, the entire basis of the story really hinges on the fact that you do it for
I'm still wondering how you go about, do you drink like a bottle of whiskey and then just set your arm down on the...
Because it's going to hurt.
Oh, snap.
Because I don't know if you noticed the bandage on my finger.
Is that what you did?
No, it was a razor blade. By the way, I can't recommend the technique I was using. Apparently, it doesn't work. And the odd thing is, I knew it when I was doing it that it didn't work.
You should shave your face and not your finger.
Right, yeah.
What were you doing?
Nothing.
Building something?
Nothing. I wasn't doing anything I shouldn't be doing.
I was playing with a razor
But let me
blade.
just tell you that razor, it was a brand new razor. It was a single-edge razor, and they're sharp. I recommend the Stanley brand of single-edge razor blades. They work. They work well. 400,000 euros is $451,000 US. So this woman, officials say family members left the severed hand behind rather than bring it to the hospital to ensure the disability was permanent. Man, she was committed to this insurance fraud.
No doubt.
Doctors recovered it in time to sew it back on, though. So, damn it. I would have gotten away with it if it hadn't been for those damn doctors. Police say the
Well, now
incident...
she's got to pay for that, too.
Yes, and you know how expensive it is to sew a hand back on?
No.
You ever sewed a hand back on?
No.
That's because it's hard to do. There's a
Well,
lot.
yeah.
There's a lot of little connections in there that you wouldn't expect until you get in and start digging around. Police say the incident happened earlier this year after the family had signed insurance contracts with 5 different insurance companies. This woman was committed, or she should be committed. She's only 21. Police say there was no payment because we discovered the fraud in time. Wow. So that went from gaining $450,000
to probably paying $450,000.
Yes, at least to have. Sewing a hand on is no easy task. So you got the Slovenian woman cutting her hand. You got the opioid addicted parrots. You have the Battlefield 5 player who's now logged more hours fighting Nazis than his grandfather in World War II. The woman crying murder over her car blocking garage, and the man who wed the woman wed the stranger. Hold on, don't say it. Oh, look who walks in. Look who walks in. He's standing out there in the hallway prior, right?
Welcome to the show, brother.
Oh,
Wow.
thanks, guys. It's good to be here.
Were you at least listening so you can play?
So, I heard the rundown there.
Okay.
But apparently...
But don't say it.
Oh, okay.
Apparently what?
No, I was going to say, apparently when they designed the city of Dallas, they had not heard of or seen rain before. And so...
It does appear that way.
We've got... No, I'm not even kidding.
Every driver on the road goes, yeah, this is scary.
Yeah. Is that rain? My God!
Water falling from the sky.
Why is this happening? Is the sky falling? Is the world ending? We must go 5 miles an hour.
It's broken.
But no, there's apparently like large pools that develop on the highway.
Oh,
whenever it
they're
rains.
fun when you hit them.
They will drown a car.
They cut off at least 3 lanes during rush hour traffic because there was this huge pool of water. And so like we all had to go around it, but of course at the same time, Texas is the greatest state in the nation.
You got
but
the
for
one
some odd reason, we
a-hole
don't have
that's doing 70 miles an hour going right through it.
Oh, no. There was no one going right through it, but there was constantly a-holes going, oh, hey, let me slow down and take a really hard look at this. Honey, have you seen a standing pool of water before?
In the state of Texas, we call that rubbernecking.
Yes. Stop. I hate.
If there's an accident on the opposite side of traffic,
they will stop to look.
Everybody on this
if
side
there's
will
one
stop.
thing, it's one of my pet peeves. It's one of my pet
It
peeves.
is a dumpster
I hate rubberneckers. Look, if you want to see it, if you want to see like a crash or something, go on YouTube. Okay, there's plenty. You don't need it. It's
and
nothing
you can
new.
rewind those. You don't have to sit
Exactly.
You can rewind them and watch them over and over and over again.
But there's something about flashing lights
We
that people,
cannot
I guess,
put
just-
any more stress in his drive to work from now on.
But now I know if it's going to rain, I need to leave like
Why?
30 minutes earlier, apparently.
The rest of us have this stress too. If you get up early in the morning and come in, there's only like 12 people.
Get up early in the morning, there's only 12 people. That's what you sound like.
Unfortunately, 8 of those 12 people are dickheads, and they go right through the puddles and drown your car with them. So I'm glad you're
it
safe.
needs a bath.
I am so glad you were safe.
Well,
we are
thank
worried
you.
because otherwise I'd have even more work to do.
Exactly. When we opened this segment, I said, now we have to explain this because the last time we opened a segment with a chair
I
empty.
never mentioned anybody being on the roof.
Don't worry, people.
Never. Oh,
it ain't
don't
my
say
time yet.
don't
Although
say-
outside, I
don't
did notice
say
the
that.
billboard. I did notice the billboard. It changed. It now says car versus train. It's not a contest.
Well,
so
they put that one back up because for a long time they took it down. I think
Man
they-
versus- it was
I think
man
they
versus train.
Yeah, but they have 2 of them that rotate.
Yeah.
But for a while, I think they took it down because I think
'Cause of
somebody
Doug.
told them it was. Yeah, it's like we may not want to rub that one in.
Yeah, can we not?
Quite so bad.
Especially right there in their parking lot.
yeah.
Yeah,
But now it says car versus train. So,
you mean, wait a minute, hold on. You mean if you're on the tracks in a car, that
apparently it still does not stop the train.
I don't believe that.
It's true.
Come on.
It's true.
How about my truck? I'll bet my truck will beat
It
a
didn't
train.
it didn't say truck versus train.
Well,
so,
guess what? I'm going to go try that this afternoon. I'm parking on the railroad tracks, and I'll report. I'm going to do a live Facebook video. We'll see what happens. By the way, that constituted an American Pride Roasters commercial right there.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I felt it.
Yeah, it was all. You know what? If you drove into work today and you drove through a big puddle of APR coffee, that would be a story.
That would be a story.
It'd be a tragic story because people would be out there drinking it off the freeway, and it wouldn't be pretty. It would not be pretty at all.
Yeah.
So go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com, and for crying out loud, drive safely. All right, which is the fake story?
Well, I thought originally I was going to go with the parrot story because I don't know, dude. Look, the whole Battlefield 5 fighting Nazis thing, that doesn't sound right to me.
All right.
What was the Battlefield fight?
Sure, because I mean they do play a lot of video games.
He does. The dude says he's been fighting Nazis longer than his grandfather.
No, he didn't say it. They did a story on him that said he had.
No, I can believe somebody said that.
Okay.
I can 100% believe somebody said that.
So you're still going to stick with the Battlefield?
We're living in a generation right now where they're like, hey, you know what?
They
Climate
are
change is
gamers,
our
though.
World War II. And
Look, I can see parrots eating the poppies. That's not the problem. And what was the other one? The woman calling.
And you can see a woman cutting off her hand. I'm just trying to help you. As
Nah, I don't know, dude. If you drink enough whiskey,
she's
$400,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah, but I mean, they weren't smart enough to. Really? You sure?
Come on, dude. That war went on forever.
Yeah, it went on for 4 years. Actually,
Yeah.
three and a half. The guy's been playing. I'm just trying to help you. He's been playing now for longer than, if you add up the hours. Okay, if you want to stick with that one. Which one are you going with, Brandon?
I'm going to go with...
You need to run. You don't remember them, do you?
No, give me the rundown.
The man wedding the stranger. You just say, I don't remember him. Man wedding the stranger stay in the country. The woman crying murder over the garage door being blocked. The Battlefield guy fighting Nazis longer than his grandfather. The opium parrots. The Slovenian woman cutting off her hand for insurance.
I'm going to go with opium parrots.
Opium parrots. And you really want to stick with... Ron,
Why do you keep asking me that? There's a reason you keep asking me that.
I mean, you've not won one. I think he didn't win yesterday or the day before.
I haven't won one in a week.
So I'm trying to just help, but if you don't want the help, don't take the help.
Okay.
You're sticking with it?
Yes.
You
For the love of Pete.
Are you sure you're going to stick?
sticking with it.
The guy has experience in Wolfenstein and Call of Duty.
Okay.
And he's on Battlefield 5. There's been 5 of them. So he's been through Battlefield.
There is no
1, 2,
doubt in my
3.
mind now that I just won this one.
All right, Ron. Ron is the winner.
There's no doubt in my mind. You tried to sway me so much.
I know.
Yes, but see,
you tried to trip him up, and he
now,
smelled.
The next time you do it and you are wrong and I'm trying to help you out, you won't know if I'm trying to help you out or not.
I know.
See? But I could have been trying to help you out.
I just learned
that. No,
I just learned that Brad.
I know you well enough.
I just learned that Brad will willingly lead you astray. That's.
I would not do that. I was merely testing.
You just did.
I was testing his conviction. They do the same damn thing on
is that
Deal
what you're
or No
calling
Deal.
it? They're testing. He's testing your conviction.
That's why they make you say final answer. You sure that's your final answer? That's your final answer? I'm just giving you the shot.
Battlefield 5, final answer.
Yeah. So apparently the guy was not playing Battlefield. I mean, he may have been playing Battlefield 5, but that's no indication that he fought Nazis longer than his grandfather. You know who might need some Atrantil right now?
The guy who fought Nazis.
No.
For longer than his grandpa.
Nope.
Oh, who?
Jussie Smollett.
Why is that, Brad?
Well, I think Jussie. I mean, think about everything he's been through. Think about
that poor guy.
The stress, the anxiety. I mean, that has to do a number on your intestinal fortitude.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, if intestinal bacteria react in any way to stress, and they're finding out more and more that they do, then I would say that poor Jussie really needs the benefits of Atrantil.
We call him Juicy Smollett on the Morse code.
That's because he's French.
Yeah.
They've actually done these studies now, and they keep coming out every day, new ones, about gut bacteria affecting your health and being affected by anxiety and everything else and stress. Now they're saying, and now they're confirming it, but the theory's always been they can make you fat, they can make you thin.
Right.
But it could be those gut bacteria making you fat. So if you don't have a good balance, I mean, you could end up like me. I obviously need to. Shut up, don't judge.
Okay.
Go to lovemytummy.com. See if actually, you know what? If you go to lovemytummy.com and I think I'd know the promo code by now. But there's also the Gut Check Project.
The Gut Check Project.
Hosted by one Dr. Ken Brown. He is a board-certified gastroenterologist and also the creator of Atrantil. He has co-host there, too, Eric Rieger. So they're going to be on Spoonie, over on Spoonie.com, every Thursday from 10 until noon Eastern. That's only on Spoonie, right over there, but right on your radio dial or your internet dial. They need to put dials on internets. Spoonie.com. That's Spoonie.com. But in the meantime, you can go to lovemytummy.com and find out how Atrantil can help you. Yeah, we have a little report from yesterday in Chicago from ABC up there.
Tanya, Jussie Smollett did not have to be at this hearing, but he did show up to court this morning. Take a look. He walked into the Layton Criminal Courthouse at 26th in California about a half hour ago for the hearing, which is...
And again, this is yesterday, so
Yeah.
you know I'm sure he's still dealing with the aftermath of the anxiety.
about to get underway right now. We expect the judge to deal with a motion from the media to allow cameras in the courtroom. A source telling Eyewitness News that his defense team does not plan to object to that motion. This court hearing comes just a few days ahead of the Empire actor's Thursday court date, where he's expected to enter a formal plea on 16 counts of disorderly conduct for allegedly filing a false police report. Smollett claimed he was the victim of a vicious hate crime in the Streeterville neighborhood back in January, but police say it
He lied! Police say he lied! Sorry, was that a spoiler
was
alert?
all a hoax. Attorney to the Stars, Mark Garagos, is not in court to represent Smollett today, but his associate is. Garagos.
Oh, that's a bad sign.
Wow.
He sent the associate.
Yeah, he sent a
the underling.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob, I'm not going to court today. You go to court. I got things to do.
Yeah.
I got stuff. I
like
got that.
shiver in my bathroom alone for
I got
before
lunch.
I go to prison.
I have things.
Is still in the process of filing paperwork to practice law in the state of Illinois for this case, which has drummed up national attention. Again, this hearing is just about to get underway, and the judge will decide.
Yeah, and that was yesterday. So I'm just saying that poor Jesse is he's really having a hard time.
Well,
I mean, I think we need to feel a little compassion for the guy.
You know, Brad, I would feel compassion for him, but he did try to put 2 innocent people in jail.
What, is that wrong?
It is,
that
according
wrong?
to the moral standards that we have set here in the West.
Wow, I didn't realize you stuck to the rules so hard and fast. That's
Well, I gotta tell you, Brad. I mean,
disappointing to hear that you are.
The way that I look at it is,
Coming
if I
down
was
that
innocent of a
side.
crime and somebody put me in jail, I'd be a little peeved about it.
I don't know.
Just a tad peeved.
I'm just saying.
I would say, as I was in jail, I would be very. I would fume a little bit. I would seethe a lot. You know,
You'd be irritated.
I would be slightly irritated. I would probably have a little bit of a grudge develop, you know,
That
and
could
stuff
happen.
like that. And then I would get out after years of being in prison unnecessarily.
Right.
And I would
Remember,
have no prospects.
In prison, you just have to lay there and take it.
Well, yeah, I mean, there is that. I guess I wouldn't have to do too much work in that regard. But I mean, yeah, at the same
It's a
time,
lot easier.
At the same time, you know, you get out of jail, you haven't been in the workplace for a long time. You know, you're like now a felon.
Right.
People
there's
don't want to
that.
hire you. You
There's
know,
that.
Some states won't let you carry a gun. And
Such a stickler.
you know, I'd
Such
be a little.
stickler.
I would be a little. My jimmies would be rustled. My jimmies would be rustled, Brad.
Speaking of Jimmy's being rustled, did you hear about the Georgia lawmaker that is? Well, she has proposed a bill to regulate men's testicles in response to the heartbeat abortion bill.
That's, you know, it's about time.
I think so too.
It's about time.
Yeah, Ron, we still have music playing below us, which, while entertaining, is just
no, because that music's good when you're talking about removing men's testicles.
It really is, and it's not so much removing them. This is more about
just regulating them.
It's a testicular bill of rights.
So metaphorically removing them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Georgia lawmaker proposed a testicular bill of rights package on Monday in response to the state's advancement of a bill to outlaw abortions after a fetal heartbeat is detected. She's a Democrat. Her name is Darshun Kendrick. She seeks to regulate male bodies in response to what she contests is the regulation of women's wombs.
Oh, okay. So trying to stop a murder is the same.
Well, according to her, yeah.
Okay.
See, the bill would require men to ask permission from their partners before taking Viagra or erectile dysfunction medication and wait 24 hours before purchasing a sex toy. The lawmaker wants to classify sex without a condom as aggravated assault and ban vasectomy procedures.
Okay.
I see every parallel in that, don't you?
Oh, every parallel, because I can't count the number of times women have come up to me like, they made me have a waiting period,
right,
before I got my tubes tied. I tried to walk in to buy a sex toy, and they made me do a background check.
Yeah,
just to make sure I wasn't purchasing it for assault reasons. I needed a cool down period after.
She would also require men to begin paying child support before a woman reaches 8 weeks in pregnancy.
Good God.
And of course, she announced all of this on Twitter.
So I can see the parallels there, because, whenever people try to step in, both men and women, and say, hey, oh, see, it's just like that.
Hey, there's music there. Wow. Apparently wrong.
My words are being regulated by the break.
It's like in the middle of the Oscars speech, and all of a sudden, I'd like to thank the Academy and my parents and Brandon Morse and the Daily MoJo.
A free exchange of ideas. MoJo 50.
As the saying goes, breaking up is hard to do. Oftentimes, it can be very bitter and costly as well. Case in point, when it comes to breaking up with New York and moving away because of its high taxes, wealthy residents are finding out that New York has become a dreaded stalker. Let me explain. New York has decided that it's the wealthy who need to be punished for the state's loss of revenue when they make the decision to flee the state. Governor Cuomo is blaming the rich for wanting to keep their money and not be taxed to death, but he's also blaming President Trump and congressional Republicans for passing tax reforms that reduce the state and local tax deductions Americans can take, which he believes has contributed to them wanting to end the relationship and move elsewhere. New York is taking steps to do something about the $2.3 billion budget deficit that the state is facing due to the "we're not going to take it anymore" attitude of their fleeing wealthy residents. Instead of posting a scorned lover photo of the wealthy betrayers on its government website, New York has decided to hit their ex-residents with an audit that could likely be followed with a massive tax bill. New York conducted 3,000 non-residency audits between 2010 and 2017, recouping about $1 billion from the practice. Between 2015 and 2017, the auditors on average collected $144,270 per audit, with more than half of those who were audited losing their cases. So the next time you're thinking about entering into a relationship with the state of New York, perhaps you'd better think again, especially if you have a lot to lose. And that's today's Reality Check with Susan Knowles.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us. Our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
The Daily Mojo.
Wow, that is so true. Brad Staggs flannel shirts just tweeted, "Wow, this law is not going to be good for Izzo's penis." That's true. That's the legislation that this Democrat lawmaker in Alabama is proposing anyway, the Testicular Bill of Rights, basically requiring men to do just about anything.
Why are they talking about why is she calling it the Testicular Bill of Rights when it really sounds like a Testicular Bill of Unrights?
Yeah, well, there's that.
Of not rights at all.
Requiring men to obtain permission from their sex partner before they take Viagra or ED meds, banning vasectomies. Oh, the bomb cyclone. Timmy the pilot is becoming, and well, I'll answer it in just a second. Benny,
yeah, he's in a holding pattern because of it. That's why.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ron got jokes. Ron got jokes.
I like that. The responses to her tweet are amazing. A lot of people don't know.
Yeah, she got ratioed.
This is interesting. I've been waiting for somebody to do this for a long time, so thank you. The name I came up with is Targeted Regulation Assisting Male Patients. Tramp laws. I see what you did there. Might I also suggest denying state funds to providers that perform vasectomies or give referrals for them? It makes as much sense. Trevor Johnson replied to her, what else would they use it for? A trendy doorknob, a towel rung, a hat rack, a hammer, a joystick, a cane to beat people with? I agree with your initial point, but come on. No, I don't agree with the initial point.
Either.
It's apples and oranges, completely different.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking about two completely different things, especially in the wake of the Democrats talking about how, like, hey, third trimester abortions and infanticide are great. And we're trying to stop you from literally killing a baby.
Yeah.
You know, both inside the womb and out.
And
you're taking that as, oh, well, you're just trying to regulate women's bodies. No, idiot. No.
Someone has to stand up for the unborn.
Yes.
That's the issue there. All right, on the phone, Timmy the pilot is in that holding pattern. Are you where are you trying to land? Exactly.
We're trying to come in. We're trying to come into DFW right now, but we're in a hold because of the weather that we created the other day with all of our chemtrails.
See?
I think we.
Timmy, I was in a holding pattern on the highway for a long time too because of this rain. It's bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good down there right now. There's a lot of delays, I guess. So yeah, we're stuck up here. I wanted to make a comment about this wonderful meteorological term, bomb cyclone.
Yes.
I bet TSA is having a blast with this because all their monitors in the airport are reporting the word bomb.
Yes, and
so
you can't say bomb in an airport.
Bomb in an airport. Bomb.
Right, so everybody's saying bomb in the airport right now. So I'm sure they're probably evacuating every airport in the United States right now. So,
it's okay. The TSA will miss 98% of them anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. And I'm also listening to some of the reports that Southwestern American still hasn't grounded their MAX 8 yet, and everybody else is. And all the pilots are getting kind of pissed off because they have to shut the autopilot off and they can't go to sleep.
So you were right in your initial assessment that it was the something to do with the software portion of the plane. At least that seems to be the trending theory. Let me put it that way. Not pinning you down.
Yeah, from what I'm hearing too, it's when they go on autopilot, one of their sensors is probably screwed up or something on that order, and it's pitching the nose down, and they're dropping about 1,500 feet a minute.
That's not good. That's not good. Not at all.
Well, 1,500 a minute ain't too bad, but the pilots say they're correcting it by shutting the autopilot off. You know, that was that emergency AD I told you guys about.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So I think I think they ought to just put the planes down, ground and pro out because it's freaking everybody out. You know, and get this problem resolved and be on their merry way.
There you go. A little common sense.
That's my opinion, and I just wanted to give you guys a Timmy report up here. So I'm going to be stuck up here probably for about another half an hour or so, going around in a little circle here. So it's fun. We're playing Uno again.
Do you need to do a call us? Do you need us to call you in about 30 minutes and wake you up so you can land?
No, the co-pilot over there, he's
all right.
Hey, Timmy, stoned right now.
Timmy,
so
can I ask
you?
Talk
to you guys later.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you, do you have two different voices? Like, you have your normal voice, your call-in voice like you have right now, and then like when you're talking over the PA system on the airplane, do you have a completely different like pilot voice?
Well, I don't. Well, look, I don't.
Look.
I don't have any passengers on here.
He'd just be talking to the cargo.
Oh,
and the boxes.
Do you talk to the cargo sometimes to kind of like just kind of like put it at ease?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Cargo, you please.
Please buckle up.
That's when his first officer is asleep. He has to talk to the cargo.
Yeah. All right, Timmy, be safe up there. We'll talk soon.
Okay, guys. Have a great day.
All right, bye. Yeah, the weather's screwing everybody up. It is nasty out there.
It is bad out there. We just heard thunder.
And lightning.
And we
the
heard
way
lightning.
You love me, it's frightening. You got to knock on wood.
Yeah.
Quick, who sang that?
Your mom.
Wrong.
Oh.
Anita Ward. I have to beat my own trivia now because Doc would always hit me with the trivia questions.
Oh,
I always
really?
knock him out of the park. So.
Oh, see, yeah.
I have to be my own damn quiz master.
I know. You have to ask yourself questions now.
The one thing I wouldn't do in this life is try to be my own financial advisor.
Yeah,
because that is just stupid, and even I am not that stupid. No, instead, you want to go to eracapitalmanagement.com, Era Capital Management. That is where you want to find your professional investment advisor. Because, honestly, I mean, you could pick up the yellow pages.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to say, what are yellow pages?
Oh, what are the yellow pages?
I got one of those on the front porch the other day.
Really?
Yeah, they're still setting them. They're about a half an inch thick, maybe.
Yeah?
People are still, paying to get in the yellow pages.
Back
whatever
in the
reason.
day, I guess some old habits die are hard, man. I was around when the yellow pages were.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, it's only been, what, probably 15, 16 years since they've really, truly gone away.
So half my life I've been looking at the yellow page. Yeah, and you're right. It used to be kind of like you could use it as a weapon back in the day.
Yes, but not anymore.
No.
I mean, you literally could tear the yellow pages in half now. You never used to be able to do that.
That used to be a thing. Like
anymore.
test of strength. Like, can you rip the phone book in half just
Yeah.
with your yes?
Now
That
you
was
can do
impressive. Now it's like, yeah.
So think about picking up the yellow pages and hiring a financial advisor who advertises there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about that. I mean, this, we're gonna advertise in something that they cut down a tree, grind it up, smush it out flat, print on it, and throw it on people's front porches.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really what
It's
I call
like they're
forward
saying
thinking.
here, you throw this away.
Yeah, exactly. That's always where it ends up.
That's a separate joke.
Instead, go to eracapitalmanagement.com and put the faith and confidence in them, as we have here. You talk to the folks there and learn why working with a fiduciary. Bless you.
Thank you.
Fiduciary. Bless you. Fee-only advisor is the right thing to do. It is your life, your era. Invest in it. Do you have the disclaimer?
Era Capital Management LLC is a registered investment advisor. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss. Visit eracapitalmanagement.com or call 509-559-6229. That's eracapitalmanagement.com or call 509-559-6229.
We're almost caught up. This has been a crazy morning just trying to get all of our sponsors in, and it's time management on my part. It's just been a little crazy this morning.
The morning was a little thrown off for all of us, I feel like.
It is. It's been a little strange.
That's okay. We're gonna make our ground back up, and we're gonna get back on track. And
I've been searching.
This is gonna be the best show ever.
Too late for that. I've been searching for the right theme music so that when we do like an Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez update, that we have the right theme music. This I may. I don't know. Is that too in your face? Is that mean? Is that me being a jerk? Is that a rule violation?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know, Brad. I would say that there is definitely some. There's a point there in that song.
I may have overstepped.
But I really do feel as if maybe it's just not really giving us the full description.
Well, here's the problem, though. You have on one side, you have Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in session yesterday and questioning the head of Wells Fargo.
Mm-hmm.
They were prime investors and lenders to companies building these pipelines in defiance of Standing Rock Sioux's treaty rights to protect its water and sacred lands. They warned early on, the Lakota Sioux warned early on that the pipeline was unstable and bound to leak. Despite that, it was built anyway, and it has leaked at least 5 times. And the Keystone XL in particular had one leak that leaked 210,000 gallons across South Dakota. Since Wells Fargo financed the building of this pipeline in an environmentally
It's environmentally unsafe, just to help you out there.
unstable way, why shouldn't the bank be held responsible for financing the cleanup of the disasters from these projects?
Which pipeline are you referring to?
Either,
So we were not involved in the financing of the XL pipeline.
Which first of all, I thought was brilliant. Which project are you referring to? Well, we weren't involved in one of them, so all right, there's that.
We were one of the 17 or 19 banks that was involved in the financing of the Dakota Access Pipeline.
Okay, so So Wells Fargo hasn't financed any company associated with the Keystone XL pipeline?
No, I didn't say that. I said we're not involved in financing that pipeline specifically.
Okay. So let's focus on the Dakota Access Pipeline. Should Wells Fargo be held responsible for the damages incurred by climate change due to the financing of fossil fuels and these projects?
Did you hear that?
Yeah,
Which
I did hear that.
This puts me in a tough spot because I hate Wells Fargo too.
Well, but here's the funny part is I mean, and you'll see this. She is trying to come off as this. I'm taking on the corporations and I'm against the banks and look at me, I'm fighting for the people. But if you notice the pattern here, here's the problem that happened. Are you responsible for it? No, and we're not even aware of it. Okay, but let's say hypothetically.
Let's say.
Could you be responsible for it?
Let's say Sasquatch wandered into the room.
Yeah, exactly.
What then?
Yeah, exactly.
Would you get up and run? Would you sit in your chair?
Yeah, exactly. I can't peg you on one thing, but let's say hypothetically, if the stars aligned and the planets were all in a row, Sasquatch wandered in here with the Loch Ness monster,
right?
And I was able to walk on my hands and juggle with my feet.
You can't do that?
No, I can.
Oh, okay, just making sure. All right, she went on.
I don't know how you'd calculate that, Congresswoman.
Say from spills, or when we have to reinvest in infrastructure, building seawalls from the erosion of infrastructure, or cleanups, wildfires, etc.
Related to that pipeline, I'm not aware that there's been any of what you described that's occurred.
How about the cleanups from the
Well, then never mind about that stuff. How about this?
leaks of the Dakota Access Pipeline?
I'm not aware of the leaks associated with the Dakota Access Pipeline that you're describing.
Yeah, and she was referring to the Keystone XL pipeline. By the way, hadn't been built.
Yeah.
At that point, and the spill that had occurred had been cleaned up by Canada.
Yeah.
It's a Canadian pipeline company, TransCanada. They were found responsible. I guess they cleaned it up. But, and I know this all sounds it sounds a lot wackadoo. But then she was in, they were in session and she was talking to several people, and I'm not even sure to whom she was speaking in this next clip. But I want you to listen to the way that she outlines all of this.
Is entirely funded by corporate political action committees. Is there anything that legally prevents me from
And she's asking about candidates that are funded entirely by PACs.
doing that? No. Okay, so there's nothing stopping me from being entirely funded by corporate PACs, say from the fossil fuel industry, the healthcare industry, big pharma. I'm entirely 100% lobbyist PAC funded. Okay, so let's say I'm a really, really bad guy, and let's say I have some skeletons in my closet that I need to cover up so that I can get elected. Mr. Smith, is it true that you wrote this article, this opinion piece for the Washington Post entitled, "These payments to women were unseemly, that doesn't mean they were illegal"?
Well, I can't see the piece, but I wrote a piece under that headline in the Post, so I assume that's right.
Okay, great. So, green light for hush money. I can do all sorts of terrible things. It's totally legal right now for me to pay people off.
All right, I'm just pause there for a second.
Yeah.
She's setting this argument up very well.
Yeah.
Which, to me, one of two things. If somebody's laying out a discussion or argument in this way, they either wrote it or they had somebody else write it.
Mm-hmm.
Did she write it? Did she?
No.
She's reading it.
Yeah, she's reading it. And here's how I know that somebody else wrote it for her. She's not saying like 50,000 times.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. She continues.
And that is considered speech. That money is considered speech. So I use my special interest dark money funded campaign to pay off folks that I need to pay off and get elected. So now I'm elected, now I'm in. I've got the power to draft, lobby, and shape the laws that govern the United States of America. Fabulous. Now, is there any hard limit that I have, perhaps Mrs. Hobart Flynn, is there any hard limit that I have in terms of what legislation I'm allowed to touch? Are there any limits on the laws that I can write or influence especially if I'm based on the special interest funds that I accepted to finance my campaign and get me elected in the first place.
There's no limit.
So there's none. So I can be totally funded by oil and gas. I can be totally funded by Big Pharma, come in, write Big Pharma laws, and there's no limits to that whatsoever.
Or you could be funded by the abortion crowd.
Yeah.
Or you could be funded by
Enviro wackos.
So this goes both ways.
That's right. Okay, so awesome. Now, now, Mr. Mirabani, the last thing I want to do is get rich with as little work possible. That's really what I'm trying to do as the bad guy, right? So is there...
I'm not sure I agree with her there, because as a bad guy, I may enjoy working and I still want to get rich.
Right.
I mean, just because I'm bad doesn't mean I'm lazy.
Yeah.
And I think that's where she makes a huge mistake. But other than that...
Anything preventing me from holding stocks, say, in an oil or gas company, and then writing laws to deregulate that industry and cause, that could potentially cause the stock value to soar and accrue a lot of money in that time.
You could do that.
So I could do that. I could do that now with the way our current laws are set up.
She has laid out a very good argument. Now, what she... it can go either way. Again, you can take out big oil and big pharma and whatever and put in environmental stuff or abortion. So it goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
The point I want to make, though.
Oh, hang on.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. She is, she's a good puppet.
Yeah, she's a great puppet, but
or she's brilliant. I'm going with puppet.
Yeah.
But we cannot take her lightly is my point here.
Well, here's a point that I want to make. Is she not, in a way, telling her own story here?
Likely. I mean,
wasn't she just due to people digging up and unearthing different financial statements and whatnot?
Yeah,
discovered.
Boy, that came and went fast too, didn't it?
Oh yeah, it's not being brought up a lot now.
No.
Which that's what happens when you're a Democrat. Things just get swept under the rug. Look at Ilhan Omar and her anti-Semitic controversy. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, now that we've condemned all hate, we're just not going to talk about it anymore.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yesterday.
But Tucker Carlson said some bad stuff on a shock jock radio station. We need to focus on that, getting rid of a show and yada yada. But yeah, did she not illegally receive money from a PAC? And then on top of that, the guy who controlled the PAC and whatnot became her chief of staff, and her boyfriend. Like they funneled money through her boyfriend, who is also now on staff, quote unquote.
Doesn't sound comfortable to get money funneled through you, by the way.
It's just weird.
It's kind of weird, but
yeah. I mean, I imagine it's pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah,
but whatever it takes to get rich.
Exactly.
But no, I mean, like this, she is the very thing that she claims to hate. Like every good democratic socialist Democrat.
Yes, yeah, politicians in general. But we can't, the thing is, we cannot make the mistake of taking her so lightly. I mean, she is entertaining beyond belief.
Oh, you want to know how entertaining she is? Because I actually wrote about this last night.
Oh, please.
This very thing. Before she was talking about the environmentalist stuff, she was talking to the Wells Fargo CEO, as you guys know, Timothy Sloan. And one of the first questions she asked Timothy Sloan during her time is, so is Wells Fargo responsible for caging children? That's not a joke. This is an actual thing. Here. I've got the audio. I've got the audio right here. This very thing. Before she was talking. Hang on. That's. I always forget. I always forget to quiet down the Facebook.
Yeah,
because I'm paying attention to that too.
And the porn, you have to quiet down the porn too, because when you have the moans in the background, it's a little distracting.
It's a little distracting. It does make the show kind of more interesting.
It does.
You're like, what's
for
going
me
on?
Anyway, but yeah, there's some people who just get pissed off.
Madam Chair, I'd like to seek unanimous consent to submit 3 reports highlighting the bank's role in debt financing these groups, the for-profit prison companies running ICE detention facilities.
Without objection, such is the order.
Mr. Sloan, why was the bank involved in the caging of children and financing the caging of children to begin with?
That's a real question! She asked him that question. Why was the bank involved in caging children? Why did you put
now again? And it sounds crazy on its face, but that is a brilliantly worded question for their side, because then they'll go out
Yeah,
and they'll repeat it, and it's the are you still beating your wife?
Exactly. No, that's exactly the kind of question it is.
Yes.
And the kind of people that are going to pick it up and run with it are like the like the video aggregator or whatever. Now this.
Yes.
They're going to play. Oh, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez confronts Wells Fargo CEO David Goliath nonsense. Yada yada yada.
And
then they just have that question.
It's the headline. And it's not. They don't even form it as a question at that point. It's Wells
It's a
Fargo
statement fact.
involved in caging children.
Now it goes from have you stopped beating your wife to you're beating your wife.
Yes. And that's why she is dangerous.
Yes. She is very good. She knows what she's doing. When it comes to media manipulation, because
she's a good reader. She's reading well.
Well, look at what she uses Alinsky's tactics so well. She knows that at least.
Yeah.
Because she is a good leftist. She's a good leftist. So she's going to study and know what. And if not her, then the puppeteers
I was going to say,
behind her.
I'm not sure she studied him, but I'll bet you
I
that
bet she
she's
did.
been fed she's certainly reading off his lesson plan.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
And maybe being fed by somebody else who has studied his lesson plan.
I think she has help, and I think she has strategists behind her.
Mm-hmm.
But I have never seen a better use, at least better executed use, of Alinsky's rules than AOC. I mean, like she's right now, Maxine Waters tried to use it, and she's not half as good at it.
Which is why she is fading into the background.
She's fading into the background, although she was in charge of this. The finance committee, she's actually in charge of it right now. In fact, she was the one who decided. She said that she was going to go after Wells Fargo. That was like a target of hers from the get-go, which is why the CEO was there in the first place.
So is AOC being her puppet?
No, I would say that Maxine Waters is her own kind of. She's crazy. I don't think that she's good enough to be a puppeteer. I really think
that's kind of sad when you think about it.
Well, she's a little insane. She is a little insane. You know, she doesn't play political chess well. You know, I think that she's even being covered for. I do think that. No, I think that there are people behind AOC that have nothing to do with the leadership, because I have noticed constantly that Nancy Pelosi and AOC are at odds all the time. And Nancy Pelosi is having to basically keep her and people like her in line.
And she's not doing a very good job of it, which leads me to believe that Nancy is losing a little grip on the power structure up there.
She is. And so, but that tells me that there are two different power structures within the Democratic Party, and whoever is controlling AOC.
Yeah. It's got more money and more influence.
A huge influence, and you have Nancy Pelosi trying to hold back the tide.
So AOC right now is funny. She's funny to listen to. She's funny to watch. Sometimes she's fun to watch.
Yeah.
But she is dangerous.
She's very dangerous.
And that's the one thing I want to make sure that we don't do is lose sight of the fact that, man, she's a loaded gun.
Yep.
And if any of this legislation that is contained in her new Green Deal, if it starts getting passed, I mean, that's crazy. It can't. Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Look what they're doing in New York now with abortions.
Oh, of course.
And 10 years ago, you would have said, well, that's crazy. It's never going to get to that point. Yeah, we're at that point now. We're at the point where crazy stuff is happening.
We should never, ever say it could never happen here. I mean, even during World War II, you got to think about some of the stuff that was going on. I mean, the government issued the Blue Eagle label. You know, and if you didn't have that on your store, you were considered like a them to people, you know.
And what is AOC talked about with the reporting people and putting them on the list?
Yep.
And
don't forget we had Japanese camps as well back then. I mean, we came very close to communism. Close to communism multiple times.
Are MAGA camps anywhere in the near future?
Oh, let them. Let them have their feet. Let them have their feet.
It sounds nutty to talk about it, but it's possible. In the world that we now live in, there's nothing really off the table. I mean, Pelosi came out yesterday and impeachment's off the table.
Right.
Wow. I mean, they were full steam ahead for 2.5 years.
Yeah, but I feel like at this point in time, Nancy Pelosi is a lot smarter than we give her credit for.
Oh, I know. Yes, I do believe Nancy Pelosi's
I think that
smart.
she is an amazing political chess player, and she sees the field ahead of her, and it's like, look, impeachment right now with 2020 coming up is a huge distraction. It's not really going to get us anywhere. In fact, it's probably only going to rally the Republican base. So what we really should do is just focus on other things. Try to what are the Republican weak spots right now? We need to hit those. And she actually has I hate to say it, but she has a really good idea of what needs to be done in order for the Democrats to win. Meanwhile, the Democrats,
she's a great strategist.
The Democrat radicals that are currently taking over the party they're all over. We needed the Green New Deal. Let's push the Green New Deal. Let's push impeachment.
So you think that she's just handing them rope? Letting them hang themselves? What you think that the Pelosi camp is handing the AOC camp rope and just letting them hang themselves?
I think that, well, here's my problem with that. I think that she would like to play that kind of game, but I really don't think that with the encroachment of radicalism in the Democratic Party, that there is enough rope to hang them. They are going to get their legs. They're running amok now in the Democratic Party. They're slowly taking it over. Now, there is still hope. There is still hope. More and more, for the Democrats, I should say, more and more people are lining up to say, well, Biden should be president, or at least our nominee. And that has triggered a war within the Democratic Party. But right now, the moderates are still winning. However, I don't know for how long.
We're watching a pretty intense, I'll bet you behind the scenes, that battle is pretty damned intense.
I did find
there's a lot of money and power on the line.
Yeah.
A lot.
Brad, I did find, I think, what should be AOC's theme song for us now.
Okay, cool.
You ready?
Yep.
Let's this is
I like the beat. I like the beat.
Wait for
I
it.
do.
Oh, hang on.
I like that too. That's a triangle, I think.
There it is. And check this out.
Pink fluffy unicorns dancing on rainbows. Pink fluffy unicorns dancing on rainbows.
I like unicorns.
Fluffy unicorns dancing
That's it right there.
Are they fluffy?
They are pink, fluffy, and dancing on rainbows.
But the trouble is, see, you see a unicorn and you just think, oh, you want pet the unicorn. Don't pet the horn, by the way.
But
It's
think
like
of all
kinda
the
creepy.
things that AOC is trying to bring to us with this magical Green New Deal that's going to solve racism and
you have to be
poorness and
terrified of unicorns.
Who's terrified of unicorns?
You have to be, because
nobody
if that's
is
what
terrified of
then
pink
that's
fluffy
the
unicorns.
problem. You have to learn to be terrified of unicorns.
You have to learn to be terrified. That's it. They seem fair and wonderful at first, but then really you start to learn they don't exist.
Here's what you do. You grab a unicorn and you stuff it in a cat cooler.
That's what you should do.
And cat coolers are big enough to put them in.
Yeah, that's true. That's
so
true.
when you see, but remember, never grab the horn. Never grab the horn. But when you see the unicorn, grab it by, what could you grab it by?
Grab it by
anything but the horn.
But not the horn.
Not the horn. And stuff it into the cat cooler that you're going to get at catcoolers.com. Because a cat cooler is tough enough to take, because when the unicorn is in it, it's like going to be but you snap the front closures on those things are so tough. A unicorn, as a matter of fact, they're certified unicorn resistant.
That is
from
actually
the inside.
proven and tested.
Right. Not from the outside, because the unicorn's smart. He can pop up the latches. But from the inside, no, can't get out. You have them customized. They come in black, yellow, white,
and
camouflage. So you get the camouflage, you put the unicorn in it, and you put it in the jungle.
Yeah.
And then no one ever finds it again.
Find it.
Catcoolers.com. Use promo code Brandon for 10% off yours today. Summer's coming. You need it. It's your Daily Mojo.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Destination unknown. Ethiopian authorities plan to send the black boxes from last Sunday's jetliner crash to another country for analysis.
An Ethiopian Airlines spokesman says the black box from the Boeing jet that crashed and killed all 157 people on board will be sent overseas for analysis, but no country has been chosen yet. The company says it has a range of options for the data and voice records of the flight's last moments, but admits the nation doesn't have the capability to probe it domestically. Another key point is that one recorder is apparently partially damaged. Sunday's disaster is the second with a MAX 8 plane in just 5 months and has set off a wave of groundings of the planes around the world. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
California's governor placing a moratorium on executions. It is a symbolic move since no one's been put to death in the state in 13 years. It is back to court today for Paul Manafort.
Manafort will be sentenced for the second time in as many weeks. He faces up to an additional 10 years in prison. U.S. District Judge Amy Berman Jackson will decide if the sentences will run consecutively or at the same time. She could consider prosecutors' claims that Manafort tampered with witnesses after he was charged and that he lied to investigators even after he pleaded guilty and pledged to cooperate. Mike Hempen, Washington.
Desperate rescue efforts underway in Nigeria after a 3-story school building collapsed while classes were going on. Scores of youngsters thought to be trapped in the rubble. The Australian judge sentencing the Vatican's former finance minister for molesting 2 choir boys told Cardinal George Pell, "Your conduct was permeated by staggering arrogance." Pell sentenced to 6 years in prison. Now futures up 57 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I got my
MoJo 50.
I got my mojo working out.
Live free.
I got my mojo working. I got my mojo working out. But it just won't work on you. I got my mojo working. But I just don't know what to do, y'all.
Bottom line, if you want to lose weight, go to riduzone.com. That's RIDU zone.com. Riduzone has helped countless people lose weight, and they can help you too by boosting your metabolism and making you feel a little bit fuller naturally. Riduzone.com.
So let's talk about the Golden Globes. Christian Bale said Satan inspired him playing Dick Cheney. Did Satan also inspire him to assault his wife, his sister, and his mother? Did Satan also inspire that? Just asking.
Brandon Morse, today at 1. MoJo 50.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252.
This is the MoJo 50 Institute for the Advanced Application of Freedom. Ya bitches.
Mothership has landed.
Are you ready for this one? Are you ready for the La Voiture Noire?
What?
It's French. You don't know French?
I mean,
La Voiture Noire.
I know of it.
It's French for the black car.
The black car.
The black car. Good grief, man. Have you no culture in you? Would you like some?
Would you like some?
It's a low-slung sports car from Bugatti.
Oh, God, I've seen it.
16-cylinder engine. It is has the Bugatti trademark front grille, and it was just unveiled at the Geneva Auto Show this week.
Yeah.
Most expensive new car ever sold. They're only building one of them, so if you want it, you better hurry because it's going to go quickly.
Yeah. I'm just looking at this car right now.
Any guesses as to the price tag? Before you guess, let me I want to give you a clue so it's fair. It's more than a Ford Escort. It's even more than a...
Probably not much more, though, yeah.
Well, let me kind of... It's more than a Cadillac Escalade.
But not much more than a Cadillac Escalade, right?
It's more than a... It's more than a home in the Sierra Nevada mountains.
Okay, now I kind of feel like we're getting a little too big here.
It's more than I would go so far as to say, it's more than a small jet.
Is it less than the Green New Deal?
Barely
less than the Green New Deal.
$18.9 million.
Here's the thing, though, man. It's a Bugatti, and it looks.
Oh yeah.
I can only describe it as sexy.
What does it look like? It is.
It looks like they took a car from remember how they used to design cars back in the 1950s with that like rear kind of thing with the windows that.
Am I looking at the back of the? Hey, Ron, can you put this full screen so that if they're watching on Facebook that
it looks like it's old and new at the same time? Like.
What is it? The front is the back? It looks like
That's
it's
the
wearing
front.
sunglasses.
That's definitely the front.
So it looks like
It looks like like a mantis head right there.
It does. It looks like it has ears. It
No, like those are eyes at the
oh no! See now, okay. I'm going to redirect your attention to the center and look at what look like sunglasses in the middle with the little white line.
Oh yeah, I see.
Now
it.
Now, if you look at the outside, those look like ears.
Oh,
almost like Optimus Prime.
Yeah. Oh, I can see that. I can see that.
But I see the mantis.
Yeah,
too.
I'm seeing the mantis hardcore head. But you zoom out a little bit, and if you're looking at the car from kind of like the top area.
No, I think there's another picture. Okay, there's a slightly better picture that we're looking at, and it's still pretty much looks like Optimus Prime or perhaps a puppy. Do you see the puppy face?
It is Optimus Puppy. Yes.
Look down at the front. Look at the front grill and imagine that being a tongue.
I could see it now.
Do you see the puppy?
Yeah, I see the puppy.
So what they're selling is a cloud.
Brad's an expert of going outside, looking at clouds, and telling me.
Yes.
He's like it's like a Rorschach.
Yes.
This car is a Rorschach test for Brad.
It really is. It doesn't look like any female body parts that I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Not that I've ever seen all of them.
Yeah.
But if you've got $19 million laying around, you might want to grab one of these because first of all, you're going to have to grab the only one because they're only making one of them.
It is probably one of the most beautiful cars I've ever seen in my time. It's almost like...
You like that?
Batman, it looks like somebody tried to make Batman's Batmobile, but was like, you know what? I'm going to put just a tad bit of sexiness. Oops, I spilled it all. And that's what we have here.
I'm going to go with the theory behind magic props that I will, sometimes restore, and they're available on eBay at Brad Staggs. You take a magic prop, and when you're decorating it, you take it right up to the point of being tacky, and then you jump over that line for about 400 or 500 feet. So you take it to tacky, and then boom, you just spill the rest of tacky just right there.
So you think this car is tacky?
I think it looks a little gaudy. Yes, it's looks like you're compensating for.
I could not disagree with you more. I could not. This is one of the sleekest, coolest looking cars I have ever seen, and I want
for $19 million. It better make pancakes and have a really comfortable exhaust pipe.
Yeah,
if you know what I'm saying. And when you sit down, and you be able to tilt the wheel, for the extra headroom.
Yeah.
But this car may sure as hell better be a lot of car for $19 million.
I just have. There is something about the Bugatti that I just love. It is a nice looking car. And, I mean, that and the McLaren. I would rather have a McLaren. I think McLarens are just beautiful cars.
What's a McLaren?
Get out.
$20.
Get
Same
out
as
of
downtown.
this room.
Man, I see. The training is going to take forever.
A gaudy Bugatti, say it ain't so, says Stephen Airy. Well done. He's on fire. He said Optimus Prime.
It does look, okay.
Steven's on fire.
Steven is an up-and-comer. He is an up. What time is his show on? It's 9 o'clock, 9 to 10 at night.
He covered my show while I had the flu, and it was just good. It was perfect. Thank you, Steven, by the way. Thank you for that, man. You guys killed it.
And I've also been handed a Post-it note from a guy behind the glass.
I've always wanted one of those.
Loud and Clear with Blake Johnson is going to be on Saturday night from 8 until 9 Eastern, correct?
Saturday morning. That's why it says 8A.
Oh, it does say 8A. You're right. Saturday morning. All right. And tell us a little bit about Blake Johnson's show, Loud and Clear.
Well, Blake Johnson is a young man who has decided to get into the podcasting business.
Run fast, run far.
Run away, run away.
Get out!
And had been talking with Doc about setting up a show, and he had a little coaching from Doc, so he's ready to go now. I think he's going to try to have a show to me this afternoon so I can play it on Saturday mornings.
And then you'll be able to tell us what it's about.
Yeah.
Aside from that, it's loud and clear.
It is a political podcast, brother.
It'll be loud, it'll be clear, and it will be politics.
We might even get him on the show this week and see if we can talk to him.
That's a good. Actually, we should talk to him on Friday. That's a good idea.
I'll see what I can do.
Blake Johnson, Saturday mornings, hence the A Or anti-meridian.
Anti-meridian.
Why are you so anti-meridian anyway?
Well, an anti-meridian what stole my girlfriend.
Damn it. You just can't trust
years
them.
ago. Yeah.
So that's 8 a.m. Saturday morning Eastern time, which, by the way, that's a pet peeve of mine. 8 a.m. Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's 8 a.m. Saturday because 8 a.m. wouldn't be anything other than. It's like saying 8 in the morning on Saturday.
8 in the morning.
Right. I don't know why it's a pet peeve. I just I'm just trying to fill you in on the little idiosyncrasies.
Because it's a redundant. It's like a waste of time. It's a waste of time.
And we only have so much time on this earth. Some
exactly.
of us
Let's save ourselves
others.
the seconds.
Right. Exactly. Use that time for love and other stupid things like, I don't know.
Matt.
Use it for stupid things like Matt.
Matt is stupid. Oh, hey, I love you. Can you do me a huge favor? And can you go grab my coat from in there? Because it's freaking freezing in here.
It did get cold.
Yes, it is a little cold.
Another little insider tip, too. It does tend to get very chilly in the studio in the mornings.
Wanger Slang the Saddle Tramp said it's like Bruce Wayne's car if he was a black rapper. That's apt.
That's a really good point.
Thanks, Matt.
By the way, Matlock, what do you have coming up on your program since you're in here today?
All right. I'll sit down.
Sit down. Today's show's kind of off the rails anyway. It's just, it's one of those things. Don't hurry or anything. I mean, we don't want to.
Yeah, no dead air.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I got yelled at yesterday.
For
not yelling.
Really? You didn't yell?
I didn't yell yesterday.
People look forward to you yelling.
Who yelled at you?
Yeah.
Can you turn my head? I can't hardly hear you. The audience, the jackals, they yelled at me.
Why weren't you yelling?
I wasn't in the mood, I guess.
You're not yelling right now, which is kind of weird.
I know.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Wait, let me try something. Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Get her!
Where is she?
I'm a little worried about you.
I had nothing to yell about yesterday. I was talking yesterday about the new budget and all that kind of stuff that's coming out, and actually a balanced budget by 2034. Could you ever imagine a politician say, no, it will never happen?
That's a nice thought.
Well, yeah. They don't want to cut money. They don't want to cut spending on Capitol Hill. They want nothing to do with it. So you were talking about it earlier today where you say, things creep in over time. 10 years ago, we said this couldn't happen.
Yep.
And now here we are. Think about it. 14 years is not very long in politics.
No.
When you really look at
it's not.
And for the machine to move that way and to have a balanced budget by 2034, nobody talks about that.
That's true. Well, honestly, I never thought we'd see a balanced budget. I never thought we'd see a budget ever. But, so I guess it's possible, but remember, there are going to be a lot of Democrats and Republicans, by the same token, in there in between now and 2034 who will jack that thing all around.
Of course. And you've got the penny plan, and you've got all of these plans that these Republicans have come up with to balance the budget, but they never are going to institute them. So today I'm going to talk about that little scam on college universities with Lori Loughlin and Felicia Huffman.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know why people are so shocked by it.
See, I'm not.
I honestly, I knew that was happening for years. It's not just them.
It's always happened.
Yes.
I mean, rich people, left and right, pay for influence.
How many politicians do you think have kids in highfalutin colleges right now, simply based off the fact that they were able to make donations?
Right.
And use their name?
There's a building on the campus with their name on it that has $20 million behind it.
Would you pay for your kid to get in college?
No. I don't have that kind of money.
But if you did?
If I had that kind of money, no. I mean, I believe you should work your way there on your own merits.
Ditto.
Did you go to college?
I did.
You went to college, right?
No, I dropped out of college.
Me too.
My parents.
Way to go!
Yeah. My parents were dirt poor, so
Yeah.
I got lucky and I got a scholarship to play baseball.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of it paid for.
My entire confusion around this story is why people are so outraged about it. And here's the no, I shouldn't say that. I know why they're outraged about it, why they're shocked about it.
And
why it's like, oh my God, how is this happening?
Well, the outrage is because, as Ron brought up earlier this morning, it's not a victimless crime. There are people who did not get into college because these people who didn't want to get into college.
And there's my point.
Yeah.
The point is, you've got the left out there spouting, saying the greedy, evil 1% gets to buy their way into everything. And they're not, in some points, they're not wrong. And look at business.
Of course.
Look at business. We're talking about universities, but look at business now. You have businessmen and women who employ what? Their family.
Right.
Their kids may be, I know, and I was going to bring up a story today on the agricultural side. There is a guy that came out with this very unique soybean. And made gazillions of dollars.
What was so unique about it?
Well, if I said it, then everybody would know who he was.
Gotcha.
And I'm trying.
All right.
So,
the
there's
tease.
traits and all that stuff, right?
I'll be listening.
But he has 2 children. They both run 2 divisions
What are their names?
of his company. The one child just got arrested last year for hookers blow and all kinds of stuff in Miami because he's a playboy. He's worthless.
You can get arrested for that?
What's wrong with that?
Well, I know.
In Miami?
Fast cars,
Say it
Miami,
ain't so.
illegal substances. But, you look at that instance, the reason that man is there is because his father was successful.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And his father put him there. He probably is nowhere near qualified to do the job.
Or he might be. We don't know.
Because he was born into a name.
But let's also consider this. Everyone's mad at the 1%ers for being able to do this kind of thing.
I'm not mad at
But this
them.
kind of thing happens for poor people as well.
It does.
Did you know that if you have a certain level of melanin in your skin, you are immediately awarded 150 extra points on your SAT so you can get into certain schools?
You got it.
There's that.
Okay, now if you are an Asian, you're immediately deducted 50.
Isn't that something? And we're talking about
Wait, you're
schools. They're too smart. They're too
Because
smart.
they're too
They got to
smart.
bring you back down
Yeah,
to the regular world.
So what ends up happening, and this is a serious problem. It's one of the reasons that our student debt loan is out of control.
Well, that's the government too. That's
Well,
another. I was
no, it
going
is the
into that.
government. This is
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. The problem is that you have a lot of people who get into these highfalutin colleges off of SAT
Harvard,
scores that they
Yale.
do not have, that
That's
they
right.
did not earn.
That's right.
They do not qualify to be there, period. And they go in and they have all these grants and all these student loans thrown at them and yada, yada, yada. And then they end up dropping out because they can't cut it.
No.
They can't cut it.
They're not
so
made to be
then
there,
you have
right.
all this unpaid student loan debt just sitting there,
Yep.
not going anywhere, not being paid off by a person who dropped out of that college a long time ago, okay, who didn't deserve to be there in the first place. Meanwhile, this poor Asian kid who got rejected, who should be
have been there.
is having to go to a lesser college or a college that he should not be at too.
And there's your victim.
And that's your victim right there.
And that's what it is. And what's happening is higher education, for one, is just an indoctrination system. It's no longer education. I mean, look at Ocasio-Cortez. She's supposed to have an economics degree. That lady is dumb.
Yeah.
And on the other part,
but she's a good, and we were just talking about that, the fact that she is a really good puppet and she's dangerous.
no, and you weren't wrong in your assessment. Someone is pulling the string.
Randy Large just brought up a really good point. Look at Pocahontas Warren and what she did.
Oh, yeah.
She got her job.
Yep.
Because
based
she
on-
pretended to be a different race other than white.
Well, you know what the whole issue is, and I'll talk about
I'm going to
this.
stop pretending to be white here, sure.
That's
I know, because my white privilege checks have not come yet.
Being white isn't half as frugal as you.
But is that not white privilege that's going on with these schools right now? It really is white privilege. I'm writing you a check.
It's money privilege.
It's money privilege is what it is, not
But
white
in the
privilege.
end, what's really going on here, higher education is broke. It's just literally broke.
Oh, yeah, no, it absolutely. Academia is done. This
It's
is
broke.
One of the reasons that I actually
intellectually, financially,
Oh, of course.
the
Yeah,
the
they're
only
looking-
reason academia is where it is today is because the government is the biggest underwriter of student loans.
Oh, for sure.
That's it. It's a
But
big money
by
laundering system.
getting these students in, by getting these people who aren't qualified in, they're not getting any more money. I mean, they're getting money from. It's possible that like the Felicity Huffmans and the Lori Loughlins of the world, might be giving the school after the kid gets in, hey, here's $50,000, whatever. But they're not benefiting from this scandal.
You know how they're benefiting, though. You know how these schools are benefiting. Endowments. Do you know what Harvard's endowment is right now?
More or less than a Bugatti.
It's way more than a Bugatti. It's like $11 billion.
That's a lot of Bugattis.
And it's an endowment where all of these well-to-do graduates, alumni of Harvard send money back. That's how they make their money.
Right.
From the people that graduate from there, and they get the, that's the thing. You get the prestige.
Yeah.
You get the fancy trophy, and you go out in the world, and people look at you in a different way.
Of course.
Because you graduated from Harvard.
You're a Harvard grad.
What did they say about Obama? Oh, he's a Harvard grad.
But again, if you're Felicity Huffman's daughter, who's already admitted she just wants to be there for the parties.
No, she wants to party.
Which there's nothing wrong with that.
You gotta love the rich chicks that want to party. They got all the best drugs. Just saying.
Didn't Bush also graduate from Harvard, though?
Yes.
How come he doesn't get the same? And he's like miles away smarter than Obama.
It was Harvard or Yale. I
think it was Yale.
It might be Yale.
He looks good in a jumpsuit, though.
But the whole thing is, we have a broken system. I'm going to talk about that. There's a bunch of stuff to talk about. I mean, that we get the border crisis is back in play. The Senate,
what crisis at the border?
Well, the Senate is voting tomorrow on whether they're going to give Trump the power to declare an emergency. Now he's going to veto it because they don't have 2/3 to come back at him.
Right.
A lot of stuff going on right now in the world.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Not a lot of shouting stuff.
I'm a little less worried about you because I was concerned because you were not you there.
Well, I know that's what they said. I mean, I feel like I might have to start yelling again.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to.
I feel like yelling, but just over this college thing, because academia is one of those things that really hacks me off.
Me too.
I
hated school. I hated school.
Me too. No.
I got through at the basic minimum and got the hell out as fast as I could.
I mean, that's obvious, and it's okay.
I am insanely prejudiced against the public school system, for one, because, I mean, I was a kid. When I was a kid, they had just started up the Ritalin phase of things, shoving pills down kids' throats.
They put my brother on Ritalin, and, it's funny because we all probably have ADHD of some sort. It's
Ritalin isn't nearly as much fun as Adderall. So.
Well, but it's called being motivated. I'm motivated,
but I mean,
to do stuff. I'm not.
The problem is that many teachers, schools, in fact, get rewarded with federal dollars or state dollars based on how well the test scores go.
Yep.
And so instead of having kids running around learning kinetically like they should, especially boys, they are trying to treat boys like defective girls and shove pills down their throats so they'll sit quiet and learn.
They put the pills in the pudding and the pudding in the boys.
I've got the testicular fortitude bill out of Georgia we're going to talk about today.
We were just mentioning that a little earlier. We tickled the testicular.
Tickle that a little bit today.
We tackled the testicular fortitude bill.
Well, Cher talked about it yesterday.
Yeah.
About tickling them?
No. Well, she doesn't want to tickle them. She wants to examine them and then take the testosterone out of them and then make them not male. Because men have too many, they have too many vices over women. They have too much say over a woman's body. If you're going to tell a woman not to have a baby, then a woman can tell a man he can't have balls.
It's the problem when you let them do something other than make sandwiches.
Yeah,
when you let them out of the kitchen, they get these ideas in their head that they have rights and stuff.
I know. Get in the kitchen. Hey, make me a sandwich.
That's coming up. 35 minutes on the Conservative Cartel with Matlock and guy behind the glass over there. Oh, we have a phone call.
Hey!
It's Watson. Watson Prunier. How are you, my friend?
Watson, my dear.
Hey, guys, I'm listening to you, and I was really surprised. Even my wife was surprised as we're listening to the show, and she heard something about Asians, and I told her exactly what you said, that Asians are losing points on their score. So my question for you then is, can an Asian person identify as a black person and get into the college?
Great idea.
I do believe that in this day and age, they could easily do that.
That is a fabulous idea, Watson. That is a fabulous idea. See?
Yes.
Now we know where Watson.
That's
now we know
elementary, my dear Watson.
That's where we know where Watson gets all of his good ideas is from his wife.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where you get them as long as you get them.
Put her on the line. I would like to listen to her wisdom.
Why isn't she hosting your show?
Well, you know what? Because she's making sure that the kids don't come in and tear the studio apart.
Oh, so she's in the background with all her intelligence taking care of the kids and cooking the meals.
Exactly.
You're making me a sandwich.
Making me sandwiches.
That's perfect. What time is your show on?
Mondays and Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
There you go. It's right there. All right, buddy. Boy. Thanks for calling. You know what? We're going to actually have you spend a little more time with us probably next week and go. We're going to go in depth. We're going to get deep with you.
Definitely.
All right, brother.
Oh, definitely.
Talk soon.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye. Such a whirlwind of activity. It's like a bomb cyclone went off in here.
By the way, speaking of activity, if you have learned something today, please go to the MeWe chat or the group, What I Learned on MoJo 50, and tell me what you learned today so I can read it off.
So is that okay? So if they go to MeWe.com,
MeWe.com,
what is the name of the?
It is hashtag What I Learned on MoJo 50.
What I learned on MoJo 50.
Yep.
Okay.
Get into that chat room. Tell me what you learned
Do we
today.
finally have them trained to be putting things down there that
let's see here.
Makes sense?
More or less.
Okay.
More
All
or
right.
less.
Well,
They're getting it.
Up in about a half an hour, we'll find exactly what they have learned. In the meantime, if you haven't yet visited TRA Guns, that's tarriverarms.com. TRAguns.com. You have not yet lived. And let me just tell you, I brought in a little thing for you. Here you go. Hey! That, my friend, is what we call a secret weapon. If that is my little
secret.
Well, I shouldn't say it's mine. I just happen to be able to obtain one. It's from North American Arms. It's a little 22 Magnum. Is that not
awesome.
Is that not sweet?
That is awesome.
That is what my is what you would call a well-concealed gun. If you have the ability to conceal carry,
This could
especially
just fit right in my pocket.
it really does. And here's the thing: with you get a little. It's not a holster; it's more of a container. It's just a little soft side. It keeps it from printing through. The reason I got that one was because I wear shorts a lot.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to have. When you wear shorts, it's hard to carry a Glock.
Yeah.
I mean, when you got so much other stuff in your shorts, if you know what I'm saying. I'm not saying. But this doesn't print through the pockets in your shorts. It doesn't tend to want to drag your shorts down around your ankles. And yet, being a 22 Magnum, it's a serious. So you just push little buttons on the side of the black handle.
Yeah,
there.
I was kind of
that
trying
folds
to,
it. Yeah, there you go.
like these two right here.
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
there
right
you
there
go.
it is.
See,
I was pressing the wrong button.
Don't see. You're looking for Kevin, weren't you?
Yeah, I was looking for
See?
Kevin.
It's a search for
I
Kevin.
never find Kevin.
No. But if you go to Tar River Arms, TRAguns.com, what you'll find is a whole buttload of guns. And you will find them in absolutely crystal clear 360-degree views. You'll even see if they've cleaned the guns completely, because there's such high-res photographs that you can see if they're fingerprints on the barrel.
It's actually pretty. You can see the fibers from the cloth they use
it's
to clean the
amazing.
gun, clinging to the gun. It's crazy.
So it's TRAguns.com. That's Tar River Arms. And right now there's a sale going on some of these. There's a SIG 1911. They've knocked 120. That's a lot. More than $120 off. There's Smith & Wesson's M&P 9 shields. So many. Guns have so many names. It's like the 6-hour P226 RX full size 9mm.
Mm-hmm.
They just need to call that like the pop facer.
The pop facer.
It's the 6-hour pop facer. And so it's pop. Well, I know about a pop facer. And then for people who want to, dig deeper, that's I know the pop facer. That's P226 with a full size 9mm. It's RX.
Mm-hmm.
But for people just on the streets, I got a 6-hour pop facer. It simplifies it. I mean, why do we have to get so damn complicated?
You have a good point.
Just saying.
You have a good point.
TRAguns.com. If you don't have one, you're stupid. You're just dumb.
You idiot.
Yeah. This is your Daily MoJo.
High capacity, fully automatic, large caliber, freedom. MoJo 50.
Remember when campaign promises meant something? Me neither, but to a large swath of voters for Donald Trump in 2016, they believed he would be different. He was an outsider, a man known to get things done no matter what. Well, one of his touted campaign promises back in 2016 was that he would eliminate our national debt in 8 years. That national debt came in at about $20 trillion when he took office. So naturally that number is down in 2 years' time, right? Wrong. Today it sits at $22 trillion. If he were serious about his promise, he had the last 2 years with a Republican Congress, no less, to prove it, let alone with his first real budget attempt. Instead, in fiscal 2018, the government ran a $780 billion deficit, and this fiscal year's deficit is set to top $1 trillion. This latest budget proposal also kicks the can of balanced budgets down the road some 15 years more, let alone working to eliminate all of our debt. However, just to give you an idea of how disingenuous his campaign promise really was, Trump's own projections gave us a $631 billion deficit in his 8th and final year in office, if he even gets that far, which is just barely below that of Obama in his final year in office. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's not very fiscally responsible. What is the bottom line when it comes to this budget? It adds up to Trump proposing we add another $7.9 trillion to our national debt in the next 15 years, and that's according to multiple studies of his budget proposal. Is it really a surprise, though? How many campaign promises does Trump have to break for his supporters to realize what a liar he is? Sure, most politicians are liars too, but he sold you on being something different. Not that that would matter much to the MAGA crowd these days. As it turns out, Trump's about as good with the country's books as he was with his own company's books. Unlike his company's, though, he can't use bankruptcy as a parachute back to success. This has been By the Numbers. I'm Andrew Coppins, and you can follow me on Twitter at The Coppins Show.
By the Numbers with Andrew Coppins is powered by TarRiverArms.com. They've revolutionized online firearm sales with high-resolution pictures, 3D imaging, and the best prices. How much will you save? Find out at TarRiverArms.com. That's TarRiverArms.com.
The Daily Mojo.
All right, I'm sick of talking about politics. Tired of it. Not going to do it for the next half hour. Let's talk about fun stuff.
Let's talk about fun stuff.
Uber released its its comprehensive list of what people leave behind in their Ubers. Now,
that's awesome.
Aside from the common items, number one thing, but let's start at number 10 for the common items.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10 is our ID license. A vape or e-cig is at number 9. Your headphones at number 8. Glasses at number 7. Clothing at what kind of clothing?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
I mean,
because we ask stories of Uber drivers.
Yes.
Every place, like, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened in your car?
Fun things that happen.
They have some stories to tell.
So when they say clothing, I want to know.
Most of them involve vomit, though.
Yeah, I can do without that.
Yeah.
Purse or a backpack, number 5. Keys, a wallet, a camera. And what's the number one thing that people leave in the Uber?
Number one thing, I'm going to guess.
I'm going to call you on it.
I'm going to guess wallet. No.
I'm going to call you on it.
Oh, man. Food.
I'm calling you on it.
What is it?
I'm calling. What would I call you on?
The phone. Oh, I thought you already said phone.
No, I already said wallet.
No. I thought you said phone.
Mm-mm.
Already.
No, I said wallet.
That's why I didn't guess it. No, phone. Yeah, no, I can totally see.
Is this how we're starting a relationship? Really?
Yeah.
You just don't listen?
Dude, apparently I don't listen to you or Twitter. They're so mad at me right now on Twitter. I got 3 different social media accounts to keep up with, folks.
See? That's a very important chair to sit in over there.
How about you calm your tits?
Or something else.
Now,
there were some unique items left in Ubers. No particular order, but there's a lot of them. An 8-week-old coffee-colored Chihuahua was left in an Uber.
Oh.
A black faux fur. They included faux. How do they know it was faux fur?
Faux fur?
A black faux fur neck cuff in a large size.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. A black faux fur neck cuff.
Faux fur.
What's a neck cuff? What's a neck cuff?
Is it just like a collar?
I don't know. Why do they call it a collar?
I'm gonna hang on. I need to ask Google here.
Because that sounds like it could be hot.
Jewelry.
Just saying.
A faux fur neck cuff. Oh, okay.
Is it hot? Is it something?
I mean,
something hot would be.
It can be if you kind of use it right, I guess.
Okay.
It's okay, but I wouldn't. But so
kind of weird.
My question is.
Why were they taking it off?
Why did you take it off?
Or was the head still attached to it? Now that'd be a story.
Well,
a photo of a New Year's kiss, 6 chicken tenders from 7-Eleven.
Mm-hmm.
Not 5, not 7, but 6. A black and white tuxedo for a black and white tuxedo for a small dog.
Well, God,
that's what made it interesting.
A black and white tuxedo for a dog. Some dog didn't have a suit to wear to the wedding.
They went naked to the wedding.
Yeah,
apparently.
that's embarrassing.
A full set of 18-karat gold teeth.
What?
Yeah.
Like dentures?
I guess.
Or just like teeth. They just had teeth there.
Full set. That's
a full set. Oh, okay. So it was like a grill.
I don't know. Was it?
Like it was a grill
full
then.
Set? Okay.
Yeah. So somebody left their grill in the back of the Uber.
Is that what you call the whole thing? Do you put the
like the whole thing is like gold and like sometimes they're studded with diamonds.
So we're not talking like 32 teeth,
right? No, like somebody did get punched in the back of an Uber and like, oops, I left my teeth behind. No, I think what they had, but that still sucks because those things can get pricey.
Yeah, have you ever lost your grill?
I have, man. If I had a nickel.
Yeah, right. A professional grade hula hoop. What's a professional grade hula hoop?
Does it? Yeah.
The hula hoop for professionals. I didn't know there were Now, see, you learn something every day.
I'm Googling so much professional hula hoop.
Professional grade hula hoop.
This is a big market.
How much are they?
Oh, they're like, they go from like $40 to $20. But I can see why.
Not as much.
The professional grade hula hoop looks like it's got some serious, like, look, it's got grips and stuff to it. And
does she come with it?
Yes, for $40.
Then I'm buying it. A salmon head. I wonder if it was a salmon that came out of the MoJo River.
That's all that. No, because that's the only thing that fish have in the MoJo. It's just a bunch of salmon. They're alive, but they're just heads.
It's amazing though when you stop and you're watching the grizzlies on the bank of the MoJo River reach down into the falls. Now I'm not talking about the tall falls that are up that way just a bit. I'm talking about the shorter falls down here closer to the studio. When they reach in there with that paw and boom, grab a salmon. Oh, it's amazing.
Majestic.
It is really. I mean, it'll bring a tear to your eye. Medium-sized medical marijuana pipe.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was a monkey pipe. Birth certificate and a social security card.
That's where Obama put them.
It's weird though that would be on the weird things. I would think.
Yeah, that's not necessarily weird. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Star Wars skateboard. A very important headband with peacock feathers.
So a Vegas dancer?
Okay, so who qualified it as a very important headband? Did it say very important on it?
I assume that it was like very, very the plumage was nice.
Why is it very important? Why isn't it a very pretty headband with peacock feathers?
I'm assuming that maybe the person who was wearing it was actually like the lead on a show or something like that.
How do you know? They left it in the back seat.
I'm just trying to piece it together, man. I'm trying to piece together based on the wordage and the...
Did the person who left it, when they called, they said, I left my very important headband.
Maybe that's why.
With peacock feathers.
Did they give the location of the Uber?
No.
No?
It's just a list.
So maybe someone in Wisconsin...
Could be.
Could be.
Why would you have a very important headband in Wisconsin?
Hey, man. Those Wisconsinites, they get bored. What do they got up there? Cheese?
Right?
That's it.
Although I could live on cheese.
You could live a little while on cheese. I feel like you'd
need
die
fiber.
like from
Yeah, you need fiber after a while. Now, if you mix cheese with MoJo Wild Rice, then...
that is exactly how you should have cheese.
Of course, you'd have to go to Minnesota to get it, but that's all right. Or the interweb. A propane tank was left in an Uber.
That's interesting.
I guess that was probably in the trunk.
Yeah.
No,
unless they're like,
I picture
that's like their friend. That's like they have eyes and smile on us.
I picture
this is propane.
A propane tank seat belted into the back seat. That's kind of weird. A tray of eggs was left in an Uber.
Yeah.
White leather snakeskin Louboutin heels.
Oh,
look up Louboutin. Are those expensive?
Louboutin.
Louboutin.
How do you spell that?
Louboutin. I don't want anybody to know I don't know what they are. So just keep it on the DL.
Got it.
While you're looking it up. A Lego championship wrestling belt. While you're looking that up, you just gotta whisper it to me when you've got it.
Oh, I see. I know what it is now.
Is it Louboutin?
It's these are apparently they are I never sorry I didn't know. They're apparently very expensive high heels with red under it's almost like you're walking on a red carpet wherever you go.
Are they like FME pumps?
A little bit.
All right.
A little bit.
Nice. All right. So yeah, apparently those Louboutin heels are a really expensive shoe for those of you who didn't know. I mean, the rest of us knew. A pack of hair and a brown brush. Yeah. And you'd think that would be one line, but on the same line, a pack of hair and a brown brush shaped like a foot.
Shaped like somebody's got a weird fetish.
Somebody was going to a hell of a party that night.
I know, man. I want to know what these people are up to.
Did they, when they got to the party and got out of the Uber and walked in, go, damn it, where's my foot brush? Oh, hell, we got to go, baby. I
can't show up in this party without my foot brush.
And where's your pack of hair?
Oh, my God. Oh, you left it with your feathers, the peacock feather hit, didn't you?
Wow.
Well, at least you got your Louboutin. You didn't even bring those?
Man,
these Uber guys make off with like some seriously high quality stuff.
No
sometimes.
Kidding. Also left in the back of an Uber was an Ed Sheeran concert tank top. Who gives a crap?
Well, yeah, I could leave that behind.
Sheeran, whatever, burn the damn thing.
Yeah.
A breast pump with breast milk. The brown man's here.
Fascinating. Jason! Get in here, man.
Get in here. Don't stand in there where those
what are
people
you
have
doing?
diseases
That's
in that
weird.
room. Get in
Rondolph,
here.
he smells from all the poop.
Yeesh. Breast milk with breast pump.
Mm-hmm.
How do they know it was breast milk?
Somebody must have
put
the two together that there was a breast pump and there was milk in it.
Sure, there's a breast pump.
He tasted
there.
it.
And how does breast milk taste different than like milk?
Actually, you know what's funny is I actually want to know that. I want to.
You've never tasted breast milk?
No, I've never tasted breast milk. There's that Friends episode where Ross is being like pressured into tasting breast milk,
right?
And after resisting, he finally tries it, and he actually ever since that I was like, okay, I want to try it.
Ron, have you ever tasted breast milk?
No. You haven't? Do you have any curiosity?
Well, he's like, Jason, have you ever tasted breast milk
on purpose?
You know,
Or by
I
accident?
hadn't thought about that. You're right. That's a very good point. I mean,
by
the way, I missed you.
Hey, I missed you.
You look very nice today.
Thank you.
No homo.
I love you.
So let me piece this story together, Jason. You were, having some fun with a lady.
With a lady.
And then suddenly, you did the thing that you're supposed to do.
Oh,
and she goes, "Oh, by the way, I just recently had a kid."
Or didn't have a kid. I've seen it happen when they even.
I mean, if she just said that,
Mhm.
and we just
Yeah.
had the fun, then I'd be like, I'm impressed. I would have never known.
I'm in.
Okay.
I would have never known. Bravo
I didn't
for
see
you.
stretch mark one on you.
I mean, bye after this, but no. I ain't looking to be daddy.
That wasn't in the agreement that we signed.
Did you consent to that
there
pad
was-
in your mouth?
Right?
That's the question you needed to ask.
There was what?
Did you consent to that being in your mouth?
Oh man, you could have sued the crap out of her.
Mm-hmm.
You could be rich right now.
Yeah, dude.
That's
blew
my
it.
new mission when I go out now.
You're just
I'm like, there's a possibility she could have a kid.
That's right. Is she lactating?
By the way, next on the list is 2 packs of Italian sausage and a Thanksgiving ham.
Hi.
I don't 2 packs of Italian. Why would you leave your Italian? I mean, I'm assuming you went to the store to get the Italian sausage and the Thanksgiving ham.
I mean,
So you go, you get the Uber, you go into the store, you walk back out, you put the sausage in the Uber and the Thanksgiving ham, and then you get home and you just get out of the car and leave.
I'm like, oh dear, I left my sausage. I left the meat in the Uber.
Honey, did you bring the sausage and the ham?
No, honey, I'm afraid to look.
What? You idiot!
My night's ruined.
Which I have to go back a second. I was listening on the way up here. Y'all were talking about. Did you ever figure out the whole? What were y'all calling it? Luba?
Oh, come on! Everybody knows Louboutin. Went out of weird that we didn't know
it's
that?
the
okay. Y'all
because
found it out.
I've seen them from time to time at the mall.
I wasn't sure if y'all were joking around.
Not
and I was
Louis,
like,
not Louis Vuitton.
no.
Louboutin.
Louboutin. Yeah, no. Apparently, like
So,
they're
what
a
did you
type of high
understand?
heels.
Did you know? Were you going to say? Were you going to come in and school us?
That's
on
the only
Louboutin?
reason I drove 20 minutes over here was just to tell you all that the correct way.
How do you say it?
Actually, I don't.
He's like, I was hoping you guys knew.
Louboutin, right?
Are you wearing them now?
What day is it?
It is.
Caitlin knows. Caitlin knows how to pronounce
not
it.
in the rain. I'm not that.
Oh,
Not that
that's
classy.
true. What are you, a low-class farmer or something? Come on.
Scruffy looking nerve herder.
You're not going to believe the next one on the list.
What is the next one on the list?
In an Uber.
An Uber in an Uber?
Someone left a shopping cart.
I'm actually impressed. I'm impressed.
A shopping cart.
How
That could have been someone's whole house.
That's sad. Somebody took the time to maneuver in a shopping cart into an Uber, took the ride, and then forgot that they had it in there.
Or the Uber was a pickup.
I thought of that too. Or you were getting picked up at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning on a Friday night.
I'm taking my
cart with me.
I want my shopping cart.
Let's Be Frank and PA says breast milk is slightly sweet and very watery. There's not much to it. That's disappointing.
Is he lactating?
Are you lactating, Frank and PA?
By the way, when we were in high school, we used to go to the Kmart parking lot, and we'd be in a pickup, and one of us would hang out the back, hold on to the shopping cart, go down, I think it was 10th or 20th West in Lancaster, pulling the shopping cart behind the truck, get up to about 40 and let it go.
Oh my God.
You ever seen a shopping cart wipe out at 40 miles an hour? I do not recommend this.
I want to see it.
This is before the television show Jackass was a thing.
We were Jackass.
Y'all were Jackasses.
Before there was Jackass.
Man,
it was
a simpler time then, and apparently
It really
a more fun
was.
one.
It explains a lot right
Yeah.
now.
It was
to be
a
honest.
lot of fun.
Back then, y'all were forced to live in the moment, so y'all had great ideas like that. Because now I
See?
can just go on YouTube and
Right.
watch a cart wiping out.
We didn't have
Y'all
anybody
lived
else's
it.
stupid stunts to watch. We had to make them ourselves.
Grandpa Brad, can you tell us more stories about the
Yeah, what's a
times when you were
Kmart?
young?
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you the story of a blue light special one day. And it's not the one you're thinking of.
Oh, that's the red light special. TLC sang about it back when I was a kid.
An ancestry kit was left in the back of an Uber.
Those are expensive.
Yeah,
those can be.
that sucks.
I think like $100 a pop.
Are they really?
They can, unless
What do you-
I hear they've got a discount right now for $59.99.
You want to find out your ancestry? It's on sale.
I heard the government was actually taking that information. They were selling it off, like 21andMe or 21 and something.
That's why I'm not doing. I am one of
That's
those
what I said
people.
too. I was
I'm
like,
one
I'm
of
not
those
going to
people.
do
I'm
it.
not doing it.
Brown,
Not
you
gonna
know
do
where
it.
you come from.
I'm a Heinz 57 for sure. like
Got a little brown in you?
with you want some?
Yeah.
When I was talking to my parents, I guess my mom's aunt did one of those, and somewhere down the lineage there was a white governor in Texas. Who,
You got royalty in you?
I've got some royalty, but he got it on with the maid, and
She had some royalty in her too.
that was
the maid hot?
I mean, come on.
Come on.
Lotion
A little
and
spicy there.
beard oil was left in the back of an Uber.
Brandon?
Yeah, my bad.
Mm-hmm. You use beard oil?
Sometimes, yeah.
I had that for a while.
There are certain types of beard oil that I can't use because I have this weird thing.
You use
where
breast milk as beard oil?
I do. I
Nice.
do.
Does your beard ever spoil?
Get some curdling.
It don't.
The curds.
Beer curds. Beer curds.
Eating my curds and
Beer curds.
Snack for later. Silver and peach colored Venetian masquerade mask.
It's very specific.
That is very
Some of these
specific.
are very
Yeah.
That was like the very important headband with the peacock feathers.
Yes.
Somebody was having a kick-ass Mardi Gras and forgot a lot of their stuff. That's what happened.
At number 25 on the list is this a small handmade cat puppet.
Jason seems like a little weirded out right now.
Yeah, you're all quiet over there.
He's looking around like,
Uh-huh. Was Lee Morris in the back of an Uber once? If Lee Morris isn't listening right now, someone please call her and tell her that we said that.
Or Melissa Gonzalez.
Oh, yeah.
Either one
The
of the
infamous
two.
cat chat.
That's true. And you know what? It could have been Melissa and Lee riding in the back of an Uber.
I'm seeing
I'm
her.
so sad that I never got to be on that show.
It
Cat chat.
was quite. I'm actually seeing her and a couple other old friends tonight, and so I'll
Oh,
make
really?
sure
Make
to.
sure, yes.
I'll let her know that the great audience of cat lovers needs cat chat.
Yes,
in
They,
their
they
lives.
should have their own show on the Spoonie Network.
They're
Cat Chat.
absolutely welcome to come on in
Are y'all
here and
eating
fill some
cats?
hour. We've got a very special low price right now for cat shows, as a matter of fact. But they're still on YouTube, aren't they? The cat chat
I mean,
shows?
the ones that we
Two or
had
three?
done. Yeah.
If you haven't seen cat chat, you have not lived.
Yeah.
Look it on the YouTube.
Cat Chat was just superb.
Someone left a Babe Ruth signed baseball.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, that would.
Now you perk up.
Well, the fact that fact that someone actually turned it in and was like,
I was just about to say that. That's.
I really hope that guy got it back. That makes me sad even just thinking about
Oh, I
it.
thought you said got it in back.
He might have.
A white gold wedding band with diamonds. That's another one that I'm surprised that.
Oh, somebody.
There's some
left
honest
that
dude.
behind. He took
Wow.
took it off in the Uber.
Now think about this. Uber put this list out because you're on the one hand it's like, man, they leave a lot of stuff. On the other hand, it's like, see how honest we are.
Mm-hmm.
We give back the
that.
the Babe Ruth signed baseball and the white gold wedding band with diamonds and even the handmade cat puppet. A McDonald's visor and large fries.
I've been looking for the.
So somebody was working at McDonald's there. Someone left their Harry Potter magic wand.
Brandon.
No, that wasn't me.
Oh,
that wasn't me.
It wasn't Star Wars.
I never lose my magic wand.
know.
I keep
Okay.
it on me all the time.
At all times.
Number 30 is a special pizza costume.
Special.
That's
Didn't you? Okay, you and who else was it that did it?
Probably James Bear.
Yeah, it was James
Bear
that did the. Over at the other place, it was the you walked in a special. Give us that line. Pizza. Your pizza's ready.
You had the pizza pillow.
I did
like
the pizza
for the
pillow.
dog.
Yeah, and you came up with your mustache.
Hey, Brad, welcome. I gotta have the black gaff tape mustache. Where it's just like
that's the special pizza costume.
Hey, everybody, come here, Brad. Brad, you left your pizza in at the kitchen.
Is that how brown people talk?
Some of them are
weird. A bird was left in the back of an Uber.
How do you forget a bird?
Was it alive or dead?
Bird's not dead. It's resting.
Beautiful plumage. This is an ex-parrot.
That bird's dead. It's not dead. A red pouch with a hammock inside that says "Hang loose."
Hammock.
Damn it. A cheer skirt with a lion head.
A cheer skirt with a lion head?
So is that like a skirt that a cheerleader wears?
Yeah, I guess so. Cheer skirt with a lion head on it.
Yeah, I want to be in that Uber.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Damn it. Okay, I've been picturing the cheering skirt with a separate lion head.
My question is, yeah,
that again is another party I want to go to.
Exactly.
There are certain things that got taken off, and I wonder why they were taken off in the Uber. That's the story behind the object that I want.
Well, my young friend, I can explain a few things to you. And
where do babies come from, Brad?
Ask your mother. Yeezy Boost 350 Butters.
Yeah, Yeezy. I bet you don't have no idea what that is.
I have no idea. What is
Brandon?
Yeezy?
Do you know what
I
Yeezys
do, but
are?
I just don't want to.
Yeezy butter?
Yeezy Boost.
Butters.
Yeezy butters.
Do you know what they are?
I think that's what Kim Kardashian gets.
Close.
After she
That's a good
rides
guess.
in the back of an
That's
Uber.
a good guess.
That is
without her lion cheer skirt.
That's Kanye's shoe lines.
Yeezy butter?
They call it the Yeezys, and the butter is the color. It's like an off-white.
Why don't they just call them shoes?
Because it's Kanye, bro.
Yeah,
Okay.
dude, he's a genius. He is a genius.
So genius, we
Some
have to
time.
use 4 words to say shoe.
Easy.
Yeezy Boost 350 Butters.
It's like a Nike Air Jordan.
I left my shoes in the back of your car.
Yo, I left my butters in your back. Yo, Uber. Can I get some back?
Uber. I left my Yeezy Boost 350 Butters in the back seat.
They look like space shoes, actually.
I just look for a pair of shoes.
You know what? I'm gonna have to Google this now.
I have a friend, very very white friend that loves his Yeezys. I mean, he
still talking
scours.
about shoes.
Yeah.
How's it that we? These
They
guys
look like space shoes, don't
Yeah, it looks like
Moon boots.
They
Wow.
kind of do look like if you were to
Moon
like
shoes.
jump up, they have like the bouncy things in them,
Yes.
so you can just kind of remember those big shoes. That
Remember
were actually
'em.
like they were
Still wear
trampoline. No,
'em.
because they were like
They
a
call-
hot
they
toy
call
for a
them moon
while.
shoes. They
Moon,
call
yeah,
them moon-
they were little trampolines that you could wear essentially on each foot.
Oh, they had the springy thing.
Yeah,
on the
and you
bottom.
could just jump around like you are on a trampoline anywhere you were.
jump around.
Yeah, exactly. They kind of look like somebody said, you know what? It'd be really great if we could condense that into smaller size, and then people will wear them everywhere they go.
Huh.
Boom.
There you go. Well, apparently Doc rode in the back of an Uber at one point because someone left a mannequin. He was into
that
weird
Yeah,
stuff that
we
we
don't talk
were
about it much.
prohibited from actually telling you all the weird stuff he was
Him
into.
and that Russ guy. Always
Yeah,
had
right?
Mannequin heads. In it.
Weird. 2 pieces of my ever so special white wedding cake.
It's a
When I say my, it
day
just
for white wedding cake.
I see. So when someone calls in, so Uber writes down when somebody
Their description.
Hi, hello, Uber. Yes, I left 2 pieces of my ever so special white wedding cake.
Was it Kermit the Frog?
May have been.
Hello. I left my wedding cake in the back of your seat.
Tastes like bacon. But then who would say ever so special?
Someone traveled back from 1928. My ever so special.
That's why would they call it ever so special? Someone left a fog machine.
That's important.
That sucks.
Those are expensive too.
Yeah, they are.
I had one and I lent it out to a friend who broke it. I was pissed because they're expensive.
That's how you walk in through the door every day.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to make an entrance, make an entrance. A Japanese style mandolin was left.
It's
quite unique.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll leave the list right here. The weirdest thing, because this one kind of does say it all. A full fish tank with fish and water.
How do you forget that?
I don't know.
It's just like the shopping cart. Like, didn't you?
Yeah.
Do you not recall bringing that with you inside?
Okay, once again, have y'all not gotten an Uber at like 3 a.m. in the morning?
With your fish tank and your water.
With my fish tank and water in it.
Y'all need to come out and party with me more.
Have you ever tried to take care of fish? Somebody took that damn thing in an Uber and just left it there because they didn't want to get rid of it.
That might actually be
what they did.
It is.
That is such a cynical viewpoint of taking care of another being's life.
They said, hey, I'm taking this to a friend's house. He got out at his friend's house, left the Uber driver with the fish.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the Uber driver going to do? Not take care of the fish?
Right.
No.
Good point. All right, I say let's wrap this thing up, shall we? That'd be...
What do you mean it's let's go?
There's the train whistle, which means, yes, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, fellow countrymen, it is the end of Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo. But before we go, as always, let's find out what we learned today. We learned that Matlock not yelling isn't always cause for concern. Oh. Although I'm still not sure that I believe that. I think there's something wrong with him. What's wrong, boy? Timmy fell in the well? We learned that white privilege works especially well if you are a white Hollywood insider with a lot of money. Mm-hmm. That really, when you're that, the white privilege really just...
It's kind of funny because what I learned today is something along those lines. But
Let's see, that's why I get to talk first.
Yeah. Thanks for taking my bet, Brad.
You know how many times Doc Thompson did that to me?
What an ass.
Damn it. We also learned that progressives apparently need a lesson in the difference between balls and babies. I'm just saying, I think that's how you identify a progressive. You walk up, in one hand I have a ball, and the other hand I have a baby. Can you tell me which one is which?
Yeah.
And if they can't, they're progressive.
They fail. Yeah, exactly.
Just saying. Brandon Morse, what, if anything, did you learn today, my friend?
The greatest color that you can be for privilege-wise is green.
Yes, I would. That
is.
You do not make good enough use of this bell. I'm going to make use of this bell now. Very
Thank
nice.
you.
And followed up with it.
Kermit the Frog would agree.
See? Exactly.
It's not easy being green, or is it?
What's green and smells like Miss Piggy?
I also found Kevin.
Her shoes. Her green shoes. What the hell were you thinking? Wow. Wow.
Hey-o.
I don't know why you wander in here and start throwing these insinuations everywhere.
I found Kevin.
Ah, you found Kevin.
It's on. He's on the gun.
Oh, yes, you did find Kevin. I see. Sorry, we're back to that. I was still stuck on the green Miss Piggy thing.
It's like, he's going to go home and look up some really weird searches on Google now.
What, if anything, did the crazy... Oh, did you have another one?
No,
good.
I'm good.
Let's move on to the listeners before they start bitching.
Yeah, before...
What, if anything, did the listeners learn today?
Because apparently I ignored everybody. According to the MeWe, what I learned today chat, is a Japanese mandolin a randolin? Asked Kirk Slightly Venomous Jackhole.
A randolin.
Just Peachy said, my next Halloween costume will be made up entirely from items left in Ubers.
I am coming to your party,
I want to see, that is amazing.
I think they meant, is the mandolin a mandarin?
Wow, you missed the good ethnic slur joke.
I could have been racist there, and I didn't. Oh, man.
Damn.
I missed out.
Damn,
I missed out.
Yeah.
Don, she says, only way to try breast milk is right from the tap.
I'm in on that one.
Yeah.
I'm in on that one. All right. That all they got?
That's, Melissa said breast milk may taste like pork. I guess that's what you pulled from this?
Wow. We are completely off the rails. We'll get to those new numbers on procrastination as soon as Doc Thompson returns in his Florida vacation. Remember, your Daily Mojo today is a Ron Phillips production, and wherever you go, whatever you do, you live by the 5 rules. You have a shot at being right and being happy. Good night, Doc Thompson.
Wherever you are!
All right.